Hello and welcome to our live Healathon event. I'm Brent Michael Phillips. I will be your host for tonight, where I'm going to guide you on an exciting journey to first discover and then experience for yourself the 7 secrets to higher dimensional living. We've got a lot to do. This is going to be an amazing experience. We've got a lot to cover. So here are the things you're going to experience. First, we'll start off with a little discovery and some demonstrations of these 7 secrets so you know what they are and how they work. You'll get to experience subconscious block clearing. You'll get to experience consciousness shifting. And this is really a rare treat. There's honestly only a few people in the world that know how to do this. And I will be doing it with you here right now in a couple of minutes. I'm going to be doing after that a live healing session. I've taken a volunteer from my VIP club, so I'm going to have a real person with a real problem and show you how to apply these secrets in real time, and you get to follow along and get healed too. How awesome is that? We're going to have an extensive question and answer session at the end. I give you my word, I will stay on as long as it takes to answer all of your questions. We're also going to be giving healings to everybody that requests one. And like the questions, I'm pledging I will stay on as long as it takes tonight to give everybody who requests one a healing. And the last thing we'll do before we finish at the end is a radiation clearing healing. I encourage you to stick around for that. It's a really powerful and important process to clear the harmful radiation that's accumulated both in your body and into your electronics, especially your cell phone. And so let's have some fun. This is a live interactive event. And as part of the webcast, we have both a chat room and a Q&A. And so the chat room, please just jump in right now and say hello. Just let us know your first name and where you're at tonight. We'd love to hear from you. So the Q&A is a separate panel. You'll see that on your webcast. That's if you want to submit specific questions for me or a request for healing. And again, after the presentation, I'll be answering all the questions and doing healings on everybody, and I will stay on as long as it takes. And so during the presentation, I won't be able to interact with you in the chat room because I'm obviously presenting. But I have a few of my assistants and students there. And please, again, say hello. If you have any questions, we're happy to help out. So I am Brent Michael Phillips. I have been called the miracle engineer. And so why should you care about this, right? Why do I think I, can change your life so quickly? Well, let me tell you why. It's because I have made it my life's purpose. It is my mission, my quest to help you end your suffering. It's that simple. I've devoted my life to discovering, understanding, and explaining higher consciousness, how to reach your potential and inner power, to uncover and offer to the world the highest truth, to be a guide and a teacher of awakening and embodiment to help everybody accelerate on their journey to enlightenment, to the end of your suffering. That's why we're here. If you've heard of me maybe on the radio or the TV, I'm very pleased that some of the media have actually called me the #1 most powerful American healer and spiritual teacher. By background, I am a software engineer from MIT. And back during the 80s and 90s when I was at MIT, I am legitimately one of the people that created the modern internet. But the last 15 years plus of my life, I have been a healer, a spiritual teacher, a spiritual coach. I've had over 20,000 students come through my courses. I've facilitated over 18,000 private sessions. And the thing here I am most proud of, I have been able to facilitate over 1,500 miraculous instant healings for my clients. And when I say a miraculous instant healing, I'm not talking about someone who goes, oh, I felt nice energy. I'm talking about things that show up on medical scans that confuse and befuddle doctors. So if you're here to experience and discover the formula for miracles, you're in the right place. You may have heard of me on TV or radio. I've been a frequent guest on both local and national TV and radio. I've also been a frequent guest on a lot of internet telesummits. I've been an expert guest on well over 200 summits, including almost all the big ones, and I've been the most popular and best-selling guest on a lot of them. I am the founder and creator of the Awakening Dynamic System for Personal Transformation. I am a 2-time Amazon #1 best-selling author. And so I know that you want to make the most of our time together. So please, just for the next hour or so, either turn off your cell phone or put it on silent, close or minimize the link based twit gramming app, whatever it is you kids are using this week. Trust me, social media will still be there after we're done here. And I don't want you to be distracted. So, if possible, either mute or turn off your TV. Because again, I want to offer you the fruit of my life's work. I want to give you the keys to the universe. And I know you want to make the most of our time together. So let's jump right into it. I'm here to help you experience miracles. It's that simple. So what's a miracle? Well, quite simply, a miracle is any phenomena that can't be explained by our current level of science and technology. And guess what? You're already living amidst many miracles. You just may not know it. For example, the computer or phone or tablet you're watching this webinar on, that would have been considered a miracle just maybe 100 years ago. Even without a network, electricity is a miracle. Our cars, our houses, the internet, our whole modern world is a miracle. Why? These are things that, again, just 100 years ago would have been considered magical, miraculous, impossible. And so what I want to offer to you is very simple, that the things that we still call miracles, instant healing, the ascension of consciousness, prosperity, finding love, finding purpose, developing razor sharp intuition, even achieving enlightenment, these are all things that are within our grasp now because there really is a formula for miracles. And I'm going to talk a little more about it. But I want you to know this for now. There really is a way to facilitate and invite miracles into your life. And the only reason you haven't learned it yet is simply that you haven't learned it yet. The same reason why we didn't have cell phones and the internet 100 years ago. People hadn't discovered and understood the technology yet. But I've made it my mission, my purpose to spend my life to figure it out, to offer it to you. Because I guarantee in 20, 50, maybe 100 years in the future, instant healings will be considered normal. Profound transformations around money and success will be considered normal. Developing razor sharp intuition will be normal. Why? It's all just technology. And I want to offer you the state of the art technology for miracles. And so you may ask, okay, Brent, that sounds great, but why do people call you the miracle engineer? Great question. I got my background at MIT. When I was growing up, it was my dream to go to MIT because I wanted to be the world's greatest programmer. It was that simple. I'm not sure I ever achieved that goal, but I did go to college at MIT and I discovered the internet. And of course, if that sounds funny today, but back in the 80s, no one had ever heard of the internet. And long story short, I became one of the world's leading internet experts. When I was in graduate school at MIT, I helped to send the first ever live video over the web. I created some amazing real-time applications. I won't geek out on you on all the things I was involved with. Just know that I really am legitimately and truly one of the people that helped to create the internet. And so when I left MIT, I figured, well, heck, I'm going to move to California, start an internet company, and make millions. And you know what? I had a lot of success at first. My very first year out of MIT, I did the very first website for Nissan Motors. I did the very first website for Disneyland. I even did the first website for the launch of the Sony PlayStation in the summer of 1995. So, you know what? Things got off to a great start. And you'd think, well, heck, if Brent was such a great background, you went to MIT, you were an internet expert at just the right time, you did these incredible websites, all these high profile projects, you'd be hugely successful, right? Well, you know what? Unfortunately, it went just the other way. I didn't just crash, I burned. My whole life blew up. And so I'm going to go through this quickly because I know a lot of you watching this have already heard my story, but just the basics. When I left MIT, I started a website design company and an online game company. And I figured, well, I'll recruit my lifelong best friend, I'll work really hard for a couple of years, and then sell my companies for millions of dollars. And it got off to a great start. But there was a secret, a dirty little secret, and it was this. In order to create two vast internet companies, things, these things we're doing had never been done before, fast moving technology. At the beginning of the internet boom, the only reason it happened is because I was working 100 hours a week, literally. It was every day, early morning to late night, 7 days a week, no breaks, no vacations, no holidays. It was nothing but work. And my health started to break down. After a few years of this just brutal work schedule, I started to have some pain and stiffness in my wrist and my elbows and my neck. And then one day it hit me like a ton of bricks. After another long day at the office, I went out to drive home, and my hands were shaking so bad I couldn't get the car open. But I didn't panic. I figured, well, heck, I'll go to the doctors. They'll take care of me. And so, long story short, I spent 3 years in conventional therapy, and I didn't get better. I got worse. My pain got so bad I had to move in with my parents because some days I was in so much pain I had to have my mother cut my food for me. I'm not kidding. I even had a lot of trouble driving. I could only drive 10 or 15 minutes at a time because I'd have to pull over because holding the steering wheel was too painful. But you know what? After 3 years of treatment, I finally got in to see the head doctor at Curlin Job, which is the top physical therapy clinic in Los Angeles, where all the professional athletes and Olympians go. And I was so excited. I'm like, wow, I'm finally going to see one of the best doctors in the world. I know he'll be able to help me. And I walked into his office and he had all my files on his desk and he just looked at me and said, I'm sorry, son, but there's nothing I or any doctor can do for you. You're always going to be in a lot of pain and can never be able to work. And I was dumbfounded. I was like, what? The best doctor in the world is telling me he can't help me? And the last thing he said before I left his office, he said, tell me, son, is there someone that can take care of you until you die? I kid you not. And he put me on permanent disability when I was 27 years old. They actually told me, please don't come back. They didn't want to waste their valuable resources on an impossible case. And so I was devastated. When I told my best friend about this, my business partner, I figured he'd be like, hey, buddy, hang in there. We'll get through it together. Instead, the opposite happened. I was fired from my position at the company. The website company that I had founded, it was my idea. I built it up with my blood, sweat, and tears, were sold for millions of dollars behind my back. And so I was devastated. What I call the cherry on top of that hot fudge sundae was I also found out that my lifelong best friend and partner had secretly been dating the woman I was in love with. So it was a wipeout, as they say, a dark night of the soul. Everything went wrong. I was in terrible pain. I couldn't work. I was living with my parents. I had no money. I was racking up credit card debt. And I was told that there was no possibility of recovery. And my case was so bad, I was put on permanent disability at 27 and sent home to die. And so I didn't get totally down at first. It seemed like my life was over, but I had a friend of mine get me into positive thinking. And so, long story short, for the next year or so, I became this gung-ho positive thinking warrior. I went to positive thinking weekends and I put power words on my walls and said my mantras and affirmations. And I'd go and jump on the stage and high five my friends and make vision boards and all that kind of good stuff. Well, guess what? It didn't help. I didn't get better. I got worse. I then turned to alternative medicine because I figured, well, maybe this alternative stuff could help, right? And so, long story short, I spent 5 years as a professional patient trying everything, you name it, acupuncture, herbs, homeopathy, osteopathy, craniosacral work, chiropractors, Pilates and yoga, and Reiki healing and pranic healing. And I did all these different cleanses and diets and detoxes and machines and you name it. I didn't get better. I got worse. And things really reached rock bottom in 2003 when I agreed to have an experimental surgery that a doctor thought could help me. I was accepted into the program, and when I woke up after the surgery, instead of being cured of my pain, I found my right arm paralyzed. I couldn't move it at all. And so it was stuck like that for several months. I tried all sorts of manipulations and machines and all that. And it was then that I got turned on to this woman named Terry from my aunt. And she said, hey, Brent, my friend Terry does this New Age healing thing. I think she's a little nuts, but, go ahead and try it. Maybe it could help you. And I went to see Terry, and honestly, I didn't expect her to be able to help me. I had been to like Reiki healers and pranic healers before, and she talked to me a little about the power of the subconscious and how the subconscious blocks can cause health problems, and talked to me about my belief in God and what had happened with my first wife and my best friend, and all the pain I'd been through and the money I had lost and all the traumas and such. And it was a very interesting. She did this subconscious block clearing thing, which I'll demonstrate for you in a few minutes. And at the end of our session, she just said, "Okay, Brent, relax. We'll take care of your arm." And I'm like, "Yeah, lady, good luck, right? Give it a shot." And she's sitting across the room from me because this is all done with the mind. There's no hands-on, there's no machines, there's nothing you take, nothing like that. And she just kind of went into a trance. And about a minute later, my elbow went pop. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I could move my arm again. And so that was the first miracle. That was a huge turning point in my life where I looked at her and I said, Terry, I don't know what you just did, but I got to learn this. And so that was the day where this MIT engineer decided to become a healer. I wanted to figure out what had happened because I had discovered and experienced a miracle, but I knew it was not a coincidence. I knew that everything acts according to the laws of the universe, and I knew I could find that code. I knew I could figure it out. And so I started on my journey, and I've spent over 15 years, over 20,000 hours, and over $500,000 to work with the master healers, the intuitives, the gurus, the best people in the world. And I have figured out how it all works. I learned their secrets and shortcuts and techniques, and now I'm here to share it with you. And again, it took me a long time, but I think I've cracked the code. There is a formula for spiritual technology, and that's why I'm here tonight with this presentation. I want you to experience this for yourself. One thing I want to emphasize, you may be thinking, okay, Brent, sure, you could do it. You could be a master healer, right? You went to MIT and, you had all this success with all these websites. Well, guess what? I want everyone to know that certainly when I started this, many of my teachers told me I was their worst student ever. Why? I was so stuck in my mind. I couldn't feel at all. MIT had put me so deep in my head, it disconnected me from everything. And truly, one of the miracles of my life is that I could learn this stuff. And I want to be very clear that the reason will be so easy for you is because it was so hard for me. I had to learn all the ins and outs, all the nitty-gritty, all the details in order to figure it out. And because I was so bad at it, you're going to be amazing at it. And so I want to emphasize this because it confirms for me that if I can learn to do this, energy healing, accessing intuition, seeing energy, dissolving pain, experiencing instant healings, you can do this too, guaranteed. And you're going to be able to do it much faster, much more easily, and with a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of the expense and effort that I had to go to. And so remember, when I was 27, I was told my life was over. I was put on permanent disability. I spent years running around for treatments, racking up an enormous credit card debt. I've been through a bankruptcy. I've been through a divorce. I mean, I won't bore you with all the things I've been through. I've had migraines. I had cancer. I mean, on and on and on. And I was able to overcome all of that using the exact system I'm going to share with you tonight. One of the proudest moments of my life was when I got to take my son to see the World Series. Oh my gosh. 20 years ago, I never would have thought that would be possible. But I was able to heal my body, heal my mind, start a new career, make money, find love, start a family, and create an enormous amount of positive change in the world. And that's what I want to share with you. You can see my wonderful family here and my little boy RJ, who's the center of my universe. Just one of the many things I'm not going to talk much about. I was told I could never have children because I had Lyme disease. I had suffered from severe chemical poisoning, a lot of other stuff that I don't want to get into. And he's become the light of my life. But I'm sure you're a lot more interested in what this can do for you. So using these exact same 7 secrets, we're going to be sharing and demonstrating and using with you tonight. Some things other people have done. I mentioned I have helped my clients to experience over 1,500 miraculous instant healings. And again, this is stuff that confounds doctors and shows up on medical scans. I've seen dozens of instant healings from cancer. The most important was my mother. She was diagnosed with clear cell endometrial cancer in 2010. I did one healing session with her, exactly what I'm going to share with you tonight. Again, we're doing a live demonstration in a few minutes. Just like that, from one healing session, all the cancer vanished from her body. When she had the surgery afterwards, her oncologist said, Karen, I've been doing this for over 30 years and I've never seen this happen. Somehow, all the dangerous cancer vanished from your body. Again, that's just one of the many miracles. If you go to my website, you'll see I have hundreds and hundreds of testimonials. This stuff really works. I have helped my clients and students to achieve profound life transformations, especially around money and relationships. Absolutely. And perhaps most importantly, I've helped thousands of people to significantly raise their consciousness, to reduce the amount of suffering they experience, help them move towards enlightenment. And this is the exact system I want to show you right here, right now. And so, before we go any further, I want to offer you some hard proof, something more than words and anecdotes, that this really works. And so here's some proof. What I'm going to share with you are some live blood cell analysis pictures. What is that? Well, live blood cell analysis is when they take a drop of your blood and look at it under a microscope, and they can determine the state of your health by how it looks. And so I've had this done a couple times with people before and after my weekend intensive. And so I'm going to show you just a few before and after pictures so you can see for yourself the incredible change that happens in your physical blood by learning these things. Again, that you don't take anything, there's no supplements or special foods or anything. This is just 2 days spent in higher consciousness with me, and this is what happens. And so here's some pictures from Tom. On the left is Tom's blood on Friday afternoon before we started the event. The picture on the right is the same person's blood 2 days later on Sunday. And the only difference is you spent 2 days with me immersed in this energy of higher consciousness. That's it. And this is the incredible physical change that happens. And you don't have to be a live blood cell analyst to see this is pretty phenomenal, huh? This is the change that happens within the cells of your body when you're exposed to this energy. There's another few pictures from a woman, Nicole. Again, the picture on the left is her blood on Friday before we started the event. And on the right is her blood on Sunday, just 2 days later. And I've done this several times with different live blood cell analysts. All of them have told me the same thing. They say, Brent, I can't believe this. Normally, to see this much change in someone's blood takes at least 6 months of special diets, supplements, meditation, and detoxifying. We can do it in 2 days, just with the energy of higher consciousness. This really is the formula for miracles. Here's just one more. Here's Tony. Here's her blood on Friday before the event started on the left, and there's her blood on Sunday after the event. All this done just in a 2-day training. Pretty incredible, huh? So there's some hard proof that what we're doing here creates incredible positive change in every cell of your body. I know you want to experience that. I know you want your mind and body to be sharper, healthier, stronger, more powerful. And I'm here to help you. And so, quite simply, there are 7 secrets to miracle consciousness. Just 7 things you need to know in order to experience this kind of change, to watch your blood transform, to experience instant healings, to change the direction of your life. And I'll talk just very quickly about all of them. We have instant healings. We have communicating with the subconscious mind, the development of intuition, clearing subconscious blocks, what I call subconscious recoding. We have theta wave manifesting, meaning how to use a waking theta brain state to send a signal out to the universe to bring things into your life. We have embodiment, and I'll talk a little more about this. This is a huge missing piece in many of the systems and programs I've studied. We do that through consciousness shifting, which we're going to do here in a few minutes, and movement feedback holography, which I'm going to show you a demonstration of. And lastly, there is awakening. the deepest spiritual truth, discovering you. So let's talk all about them in order. Secret number one, instant healing. This is the exact same process I used to deliver over 1,500 miracles to my clients. This is the exact same process I'll be using for everyone tonight that requests a healing from me. And so what I want to do is offer a quick case study here from a man named Aristotle. He came to one of my courses not long ago, and I want to show you a short video of what happened to him right after he went through it. So let's turn it over to Aristotle here for a short time.
Hi, my name is Aristotle Karras. I wanted to give a testimonial for my friend Brent Phillips that I just took his class, Awakening Dynamics. It was probably the most in-depth healing workshop that I've ever taken. It was so profound because it gave you real tools that you were able to use right away. One of the students in the class, besides myself, we ended up knowing each other and from another event, and we called each other a couple days later after class, and she happened to fall down and hit her head, and I said, hey, do you mind if I do some casework on you? She goes, absolutely, please. And within minutes she was having her head ache and trauma that she had go away. And I've had amazing experiences since then, been able to work on myself, work on my family. I just cannot say enough about Brent Phillips and what a gift he is to the world, and his skills and his level of teaching. Just the handouts alone were just epic.
So there you have it from Aristotle. Next, I want to share with you a case study from one of my students who recently came to the course. I haven't had a time to get his video yet, but this is what he told me. In his words, he said, I didn't do my first healing until 6 months after I'd taken your course, when my mother was diagnosed with leukemia. She was taken to Georgetown University, one of the best hospitals, and told she had 2 weeks to live. They sent her home with some medications and a very small chance of survival. And Anthony goes on to say, I wasn't sure if I was ready, but with your block clearing, I was confident in my training. So he did a healing on her. The same process I'm going to demonstrate for you in a few minutes. And then he says, this week she returned to the hospital and they found no trace of the big C. She is 100% healed. And I wanted to share this with you because this is someone that just went through the weekend training, didn't even use it for 6 months, and experienced a miracle and saved his mother's life. This really happened. And I know you want to learn this. I know you want to have this power, this ability. I mean, after all, if you can just do one awesome healing like this, even if it's just one for the rest of your life, isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth the time and the energy times 1,000, a million? I think so. And so, again, I'm showing these because these are things that my students did. All they did was go through the first training. That's it. So on to the second secret, body intelligence. One of the most important things I want to share with you is how to bypass the conscious mind in order to get a direct hotline to your body's intelligence, to the subconscious mind. And so here's how it works. The mind lies. The mind can deceive you. What we say, what we write, it can be deceiving. However, when you know how to communicate with the body, it always tells the truth. And there's a couple of ways we use this. One is how to identify the codes in the subconscious. You'll see me using this in the live healing we're going to do in a few minutes. Another way is through the movement feedback holography. We actually learn how to read the energy patterns coming off the body through movement. And so this is really important stuff. When you learn how to communicate directly with the body, you will discover the deepest truths and you will be able to move your life forward. On to secret number 3, intuition. Part of my mission is to show everyone how to access their intuition. And this is so important because everybody can do it. Trust me, it took me years and years of practice to figure it out. And if I can do it, MIT engineer stuck deep in his head, if I can do it, you can too. Because intuition is your connection to the higher power. It is your higher intelligence. And guess what? The odds don't matter when you have a strong intuitive connection. Intuitively, you can learn the right house to buy, the right stocks to buy, the right foods to eat, the right people to associate with. This is a life changer, and I would love to share this with you. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to share with you a quick case study here from a woman named Felicia and how she came through this training and the incredible results she experienced about how it turbocharged her intuition. So let's turn it over to Felicia here.
Hey Brent, this is Felicia here. As a result of taking the class, being a level 1 Formula for Miracles practitioner, I am able to heal people instantly. As a result of that, my income has increased by at least 20%. And I launched a radio show that Sunday night. And so I would like for you to be on the show. And so I am just so grateful and thankful that I am a part of your tribe and will continue to be, because I do intend to take the next set of classes. So that's what Formula for Miracles has done for me. It personally has changed my life. The Unleashing Your Inner Millionaire helped me to overcome some negative thoughts about money and um, success. Um, what else? Some generational curses. And I mean, it was instant, and I saw results after that. Like I said, my income increased 20%, confidence increased, my self-esteem, how I, knowing that I am more than enough, even my intuitiveness increased. So I'm stepping back into my power. I am my power, and I'm grateful and thankful.
So there you go. A little bit from Felicia about her experience. Now we're going to move on and talk to you about secret number 4, subconscious recoding. And this is really important because this is the way we clear out the blocks. I'm going to show you how to find the subconscious blocks, how to clear them, and how to install new code into your subconscious. And I have highly optimized this technology. I've used everything I learned at MIT to make it so fast, so easy, so powerful that everyone that comes through the training learns how to clear subconscious blocks on the second day in just seconds. Guaranteed. Everybody. And this is literally rewriting the software of your life. I call it the software of your soul. And by learning to identify and clear these blocks and add in new code to the subconscious, you can completely change your life. Literally, how it works is we all have programs inside of us for every area of your life, just like a computer. You have a program for your career, your physical health, your emotional health, your love life, your intuition, your sense of purpose, your friendships, everything, even your level of happiness, you have a program for. And I want to show you how to change those programs, how to improve them. And I want to do a couple demonstrations here so you can see exactly what this looks like. I am going to be doing a live healing demonstration in just a few minutes, but right now I want to start by showing you a demonstration. This was recorded live at one of my weekend workshops with a man named Michael. And I want you to see a miracle happen during the healing session. And I'm going to show you just a little bit of it here. Anyone that's interested, I have the full video I'd be happy to share with you. That's about 15 minutes to watch the full session. But he came to my workshop. I picked him out of my crowd. We did 15 minutes of healing, and this is what it looks like. So we'll turn it over here. I'll give you just a little demonstration of what this. Let's check. I have to quit my job to make more money.
I have to quit my job to make more money.
Good. You have your own company or a job or?
Own company.
Okay. I have to start a different company to make more money.
I have to start a different company to make more money.
No. Okay. You may want to. We just don't want to make you think you have to.
Okay.
Let's check. I have to take a huge risk to make more money.
I have to take a huge risk to make more money.
Okay. Let's clear that. Okay.
Okay.
I have to take a huge risk to make more money.
I have to take a huge risk to make more money.
Good.
Okay.
I have to know how it's going to happen first.
I have to know how it's going to happen first.
No. Good. I'm open to Creator's plan for my life.
I'm open to Creator's plan for my life.
Good. I can be happy no matter how much money I make.
I can be happy no matter how much money I make.
Nope. Want to shift that?
Might as well, yeah.
It's okay. I can be happy no matter how much money I make.
I can be happy no matter how much money I make.
Good. I can take care of my family no matter how much money I make.
I take care of my family no matter how much money I make.
Good. I am comfortable in my new energy.
I'm comfortable with my new energy.
Good. My body is comfortable with its new energy.
My body is comfortable with its new energy.
All right. All set. Good work. Yay. Congratulations, sir. So there you go. That's what it looks like. And in a few minutes, I'll show you from Michael in his own words what happened afterwards. But let's keep moving. We've got a lot to cover. Secret number 5, theta wave manifesting. And so this is a really important tool because this is how we bring things into our life, right? We manifest. But you may be thinking, hey, Brent, whoa, pump the brakes. That sounds to me like the law of attraction. And I've done a lot of law of attraction stuff. Maybe you spent a lot of money on it and didn't get a lot of results. And so I'm going to answer that. What is the law of attraction? Well, the law of attraction tells us that what you focus on tends to show up in your life, right? If you focus on being positive, being wealthy, you'll tend to have a happy, prosperous life. If you're focused on problems and negativity and scarcity, you'll get more of that. So that's what the law of attraction is. But of course, most of us who have done law of attraction stuff, maybe you're like me and you went to all these different programs and seminars and intensives and retreats. You may have spent a lot of money on it without seeing a lot of positive change. Well, there's actually a study that was done, and it showed over 99% of people that used the law of attraction felt they got bad results. That's pretty awful, right? That the typical law of attraction has a 99% failure rate. Well, guess what? There's a reason for that. It's because many of us are full of subconscious blocks. And using this technology, what I just showed you in the little demo with Michael, you can change that. You can have a much higher success rate, but only if you have the right technology. Otherwise, you can throw away $1 million on coaches and positive thinking weekends. It's not going to do anything. But there is a secret. I want to help you make that breakthrough. You may say, okay, Brent, what about that 1% of people that do use the law of attraction and are successful, right? Like a lot of the people teach in the seminars and sell in the books. Well, that's because there's about 1% of us that are naturally clear of subconscious blocks. So, you get 200 people in a room. On average, 2 of them will have success. But I want to do much better. I want to show you how to raise the success rate dramatically with the right technology. Because for me, remember, I spent about a year on this positive thinking path, going to all these programs and seminars and coaches, ran up a huge amount of credit card debt, and it did nothing for me. Why? I was full of subconscious blocks. That's the difference Terry made for me. With this technology, you can clear your blocks. You can actually get results. So let me emphasize, the law of attraction won't work until you can clear your blocks. And so good news is, in just a few minutes, I'm going to be doing, again, a live healing demonstration of what we call digging, of taking a real person with a real problem and helping them to very quickly, it'll probably be 30 minutes or less, identify and clear the huge blocks that have been holding them back. So you're going to get to see me do that live. Again, remember, 99% of our power is locked up in the subconscious. That's huge, right? And so in order to access that power, we need to use the theta wave. And so the keys to having success with manifesting are very simple. 1, you need the technology of the theta wave. I'm going to offer that to you and make it really, really easy. And 2, you need to clear your subconscious blocks. You do that, the theta wave is like this magical key that unlocks the power of the subconscious mind. It's pretty amazing. And so remember Michael from a few minutes ago? Well, in that little block clearing session you saw, now I'm going to show you in his words what happened in his life just a few days later. This has actually happened literally the day after the weekend course. So we'll turn it over to Michael again.
In September, Brent called me up and we did some digging. You may notice in the manifesting in your booklet we just did, it said if you had a manifest that showed up tonight, come and let us know tomorrow, which triggered my thoughts about this story. Well, Brent did the digging on me. We went through financial prosperity. Very intuitive, very good session. But I remember at the end he said something like, okay, now the money can flow to you. Let's bump it up a bit and have some good money come in. So I went home. My pot of gold was not sitting there on my front doorstep. So I didn't have a story the next day. And the day after that, it was still pretty much life as usual. However, well, let me tell you, I was at one point the director of computing for a good chunk of the UCLA campus. It was back in the mid-90s. I left there in 96. Well, on Monday, I had a letter from the University of California saying that they had money for me. As a matter of fact, it was over a 6-figure check, and they wanted to know if I wanted them to process and send it to me. They'd been trying to find me, and they finally located me. So I thought about this because I told Brent I thought he was slipping there. It took so long for that money to show up, but I had to give him a break because we figured out there was no mail delivered on Sunday. So the check showed up on Monday.
Yep.
Well, the letter showed up on Monday, so all I had to do was request the check.
Yep. Pretty incredible, huh? And of course, I have to emphasize, I can't promise everyone's going to get that result. Not everyone that comes through this training has over $100,000 show up out of nowhere on Monday. But this really happened, and it's because we applied these technologies. We used the theta state, we cleared his blocks, and boom, his life transformed. Over $100,000 showed up the day after. I think that's pretty amazing. But on to secret number 6, which is embodiment. And this is important because this is a huge missing piece in almost everything I have studied. And so what does this mean? Well, what is embodiment? Well, quite simply, embodiment is going beyond learning spiritual teachings to living them. And so embodiment is the difference between reading a book about how to swim and actually jumping in the water and swimming. And this is what I want to do for you with the energy healing, the law of attraction, the higher consciousness. Of course, I'm going to show you the best technology and explain it to you, but I'm also going to give you the experience of it, because I don't just want to talk to you about this stuff. I want you to experience it for yourself. And this is huge, huge, huge. The embodiment is what made the biggest difference in my life, in awakening and embodiment. When I first started the embodiment through the movement, which we'll demonstrate in a second, I literally more than doubled my income in less than 6 months. And it kept rising after that. So that this is no joke, that this is enormous. Because embodiment turbocharges your abilities, whether it's for healing, for manifesting, for intuition, for purpose, for making a difference in the world. This is a huge spiritual turbocharger. And there's 3 primary techniques we use for this. One is movement feedback holography, where we read the energy pattern on people doing special movements, and I entrain them into the quantum field to reprogram those patterns, and I'm going to demonstrate that. We also do it through consciousness shifting, which we'll do also in a few minutes right here on this webinar, as well as brainwave synchronization, which is a little more advanced. And just know that without embodiment, you cannot fully activate the law of attraction. And there's very few people out there that really know what they're doing and how to teach this. Good news is, I think you found one of them. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you just a little clip of a real-life movement feedback holography session with Jake. And this, again, was recorded live at one of my weekend intensives. And I think it'll be much easier for you to see what it is rather than me trying to talk about it. So here we go. Let's turn it over to Jake for a minute.
Wow. It's his left and right side are totally split. It's like there's a barrier down the middle of his body, and the left and right are not cooperating. They're oddly in sync.
Very much in sync, yeah.
They're very much in sync. But I see like this big barrier right down the middle.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's like dividing you in half.
It's hard to see it from the side, but I can see it on the camera view. It's like a 1 foot wide barrier between the two.
There's also a little bit of frustrated loss, not sure where to go. That's showing up? Yeah. That he has energy, but he feels like what he's doing doesn't really matter. That's just wrong and bad. Show us the bully, the brute.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
I think the room is shaking.
Yeah. I felt like a wave of force flew off of you.
Oof, there's some power there.
You see how much sadness is coming up? That's okay. Go with the sadness. The sadness will set you free of all this.
It's pulling in towards him a lot more.
Yeah.
The energy's coming in.
You can feel how powerful he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is really good.
Oh, yeah.
You see,
and even though he's sitting, it's moving through his whole body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like a power that's flowing from top to bottom.
Can you see his vision turned on? Mm-hmm. You can see he has huge vision. There's so much wisdom in there.
Pretty cool stuff, huh? It may seem a little strange if you've never seen this before, but the movement is probably the most profound and powerful technique that I've experienced to move yourself forward. And I know you want to experience that too. And we do it all in the first weekend intensive. But I want to still cover secret number 7, awakening, which I've saved for last because it is the deepest, the most challenging, but also the most rewarding. And so, what is awakening? Well, first, let me tell you what it's not. When I say awakening, I'm not talking about learning about energy healing or the law of attraction or intuitive readings. That's good stuff. What I'm talking about is something very specific. When I say awakening, I mean coming to a crystal clear understanding of what you are, this awareness, and how that's completely different than you as the separated ego. And the awakening is so important. This was such a huge change in my life. And this is not something Brent invented. This has been around for thousands and thousands of years. In the Eastern traditions, this is considered the highest study there is, what's called Jnana Yoga, the yoga of wisdom. In the West, we call it non-duality. In the East, it's called Advaita Vedanta. But this is the deepest truth. This is truly all of these things and more. Awakening is the beginning of the end of suffering. It is the key to penetrating and releasing attachment. It is your personal spiritual turbocharger. By learning to penetrate and release attachment, to be present, to drop in, you will become so much more powerful doing healings, doing manifesting, doing everything in your life. This is the secret of higher consciousness, and many have referred to it as the foot in the door to enlightenment. There's one path to enlightenment through higher consciousness in terms of how we map the progress, and that path goes right through awakening. There is no enlightenment without awakening. Without awakening, there will always be suffering, no matter how rich or powerful or healthy you are. And so I want to give you all of this. And so without further ado, I want to move ahead so everyone can actually experience higher consciousness. Enough talking about it for now. I want you to experience this. And so we're going to spend a few minutes doing what I call the consciousness shifting process. For many people, you will start to see energy and auras with your open eyes. Now, it doesn't happen for everyone the first time. For some people, you may need repeated exposures. And for some, it's more intense than for others. But for many, this will unlock your ability to see energy and auras with your open eyes. If that happens for you, please let us know in the chat room. We'd love to hear from you. Another purpose of this is by moving you into a higher place of consciousness, it can help to dissolve pain and discomfort. So if you're in any kind of pain right now, it could be physical pain, emotional pain, doesn't matter, financial pain, what you'll notice is afterwards, it will lessen. It may still be there a little bit. It may be completely gone. We'll see what happens. But higher consciousness can dissolve any pain. It really can. And I want to show you so you can experience this for yourself. The most important reason I do this is I want to give you a little taste of awakened consciousness. It's like talking about orange juice. I could talk to you all day about it, but it's no substitute for taking a sip. This is the closest thing I found to giving you a little taste of awakened consciousness. What we're going to do is really to crank up the volume of okayness in your life in the world. Because guess what? 3 minutes from now, you're going to be in the same body, the same family, the same job, the same financial situation. But guess what? When you can raise your consciousness, everything will seem more okay. You will be empowered to take action that will make a difference. And this is really important. Everything will seem more okay. That frees you up your power for positive change. So, some warnings. If you go deep into this, you may see faces disappear. If you're looking at my picture, you may see my face fade away and others show up. If it does, great. What you're seeing is me in other incarnations, what we call past life memories. Don't panic, not everyone sees it. But if you do, that's what's happening. You're seeing beyond the veil. If you go very deep, you may seem like the whole room is fading away. That's incredible if you can do it. Don't worry. Again, that's wonderful. It means you're really getting it. You may also notice that objects that seem to be that you know are stationary seem to be moving. There is an illusion of movement. If you see that, great, you're on the right track. And just know that you don't have to have any visual experience to get benefit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for about 3 minutes here, and I'm going to draw you into this place of higher consciousness. And I'm going to talk just a little bit because I want everyone to know I'm here with you. But I'm not going to talk nonstop because I can go deeper into the quantum field with you when I'm not speaking. So again, I'm just slowly going to entrain you into the zone. If you're not sure what to do, just look at my left eye on the picture. So here we go. And I'll just talk a little so you know I'm here. And what I'm doing is entraining you into the quantum field. We're literally seeing beyond the veil, the illusion of our physical reality, to see the truth underneath. Not everyone gets the visual effects, at least at first. And I'll stick with it, you will. You might see the white aura appear. If you're really good, you may see the colors too. Try to minimize your blinking. Don't force your eyes open, but the less you blink, the deeper it's possible to go into the quantum field. You may notice things getting blurry. That's good. That means you're getting it. And so I'm going to just go quiet here to go a little deeper into the field with everybody. Don't worry, I'm going to be here the whole time. So we'll do just a little more here. All right, and then I'll gently bring everyone back to normal, whatever that is, huh? Excellent. So remember, the goal there is just to give you a little taste of higher consciousness. And a lot of us are unconsciously resistant to that. If we're really stuck in the ego, it's not your fault. It takes a little while to pull out of it. And so I hope you had some great experiences. Please let me know in the chat room. Let us know. Were you able to see my aura? Did you see anything moving around? Did you see other faces? And more importantly, do you feel everything's a little more okay? This is higher consciousness, less suffering. So if you experienced anything, less pain, more spaciousness, everything's more okay, please let us know in the chat room. We'd love to hear from you. And so I'm going to offer one super fast case study from Deborah about her experience diving in and learning this stuff. And so we'll turn it over to Deborah. So here we go.
Hi, my name is Deborah. I was a student of Brent's this past year, and I'd like to sincerely thank him for all that he taught me in his Awakening Dynamics Level 1 course. Prior to that, I had been in the technical field for 21 years, and I had to leave in 2014 due to chronic fatigue syndrome. This was mostly stress related for me, and being the left brain logical person that I decided that I was going to take a leap of faith and leave my job, and go ahead and work on the physical. And I didn't really have a lot of concepts in the metaphysical world. So about a year and a half later, I was kind of in the same predicament, and I was spinning my wheels, and I was really feeling hopeless. And then I learned about Brent on a teleseminar in 2015 of December, and he spoke about his story, which I related to because we're both technical, and he talked about some concepts that I wasn't familiar with in the metaphysical world. And so I was really intrigued, skeptical but intrigued, because I had tried so much more before that. And so I took a leap of faith with him, and I went ahead and enrolled in his course in January. And he taught me that everything up here really does shape how we see our world. So he showed us the tools to simply access that information of these limiting beliefs, and he showed me how to reprogram them in a very simple and elegant manner. So, and I'm really thrilled because, about 8 months later, life is just so different now, and I'm just so excited because I'm about to start a holistic business, and my health is just improved significantly. So I'm really sincerely grateful to Brent for getting that information out there, and especially for people like myself who are very technically oriented, because he made it so easy to understand all these metaphysical concepts, and he really opened up my world. So thank you so much, Brent.
All right, so thank you to Deborah for sharing with us. Now I have a question. Is this for you? Are you open to the possibility that a genuine spiritual awakening is the gateway to finally live the life that you know you deserve? Is this for you? I think you want to deepen your understanding, to awaken the unlimited healing energy within you. And who's interested in discovering the secrets hidden in the ancient mystery schools? I am very lucky that my teacher gave me permission to share these with the world, unfiltered, to give you the purest, the most powerful teachings that for thousands of years you could only learn at the highest levels of the ancient mystery schools. And so are you ready? Are you ready to leave your old life behind? Are you ready to move into the higher dimensions, to experience the power, the fulfillment, the joy that comes with knowing how to use and apply all these things? We know that you were created to lead an extraordinary life. And I'm confident you'll agree this program is the key to unlocking your authentic power. And so for any program, no matter what it is, if you want to learn karate, if you want to learn surfing, a language, learn to play guitar, energy healing, you name it, for any program to be effective, there must be 3 core components. Number 1, you want to learn from cutting edge yet proven content. That's important. You want the best stuff available, but you need to know what works. Number 2, you need supervised practice with masters. This is important. This is why you can't learn energy healing or karate from a book. You need to have supervised practice with people who really know what they're doing. And lastly, you need ongoing support. You need a community. You need an opportunity for deep discovery. What this will not be is, come through a seminar, get a rubber stamp certificate, and be thrown to the street. No. I'm going to give you a lot of ongoing support, community opportunities to get help, to practice, to go deep into the topics you're interested in. And so the Secrets to Higher Dimensional Living Weekend Intensive is truly the culmination of my life's work. It is an in-depth live training with lots of hands-on exercises to take you deep into every aspect of this formula for miracles. You will learn and use all of these secrets: instant healing, communicating with the body intelligence, developing, refining intuition, learning to do subconscious block learnings and downloads, theta wave manifesting, embodiment through movement, through consciousness shifting, as well as awakening. All of these things are covered in depth. And it starts with a 2.5-day workshop. You can join us live in Los Angeles when there's space in the room, or it's always available through online live video streaming. It is a step-by-step process to raise you into higher consciousness. And I guarantee, if you haven't started your awakening process, we will start. If you have already started it, we will accelerate it. We will show you how to quickly identify and clear subconscious blocks. That's the demonstration I'm going to do live in a few minutes. I'm going to show you how to do all this, how to find the core. Quite simply, I'm going to give you all my best tips and processes and shortcuts, the exact same system I've used to create over 1,500 miracles for my clients. You're going to get all of that handed to you on a silver platter. Lots of hand-on development. And this course is packed with value. I know a lot of weekend seminars and trainings that may have one good idea or technique that they fill with fluff and expand out to a weekend. That's not this. You will see, you will get a life-changing insight, technique, idea, teaching every 5 or 10 minutes. There will be dozens of things, any one of which could totally change your life. And to make sure you don't miss anything, you get a very detailed manual. It's over 100 pages long, a full recording of the entire event, so you can go through it again as many times as you like, all included, as well as an option for professional certification. Also included is 90 days on the house access to my exclusive silver level VIP club. With silver level, you get access to regular practice groups. We usually do them every week. Live practice groups. You can join us, ask questions, practice what you learned, get healings. It's phenomenal. Every month I do a live demonstration and give away a private session to a member. There's a good chance you'll win. If you stay in the club and apply, everyone that stays in and applies wins free sessions with me. I do regular live block clearing and Q&A sessions. There's a huge archive of private one-on-one sessions you can listen to learn, to get more healing, to go deeper, as well as what I call my deep learning masterclasses. And so there's many of these. These are just a sample. There's over 40 on the site. They are master classes of high-def video trainings and PDF workbooks on all these different subjects. And this is just a few examples. Happiness, fear, anger, addiction, confidence, emotional eating, awakening, self-esteem, brain optimization, forgiveness, understanding personality types, dissolving pain, and there's a lot more. This is just a sample. All this is included. You get all of this, which I think is pretty amazing. And so you may ask, okay, Brent, what's this going to cost? All right, I'm going to answer you. Now, the truth is, I spent over 10 years and over $500,000 going around to all these different gurus and masters and healers and intuitives and workshops and intensives to reverse engineer their secrets. And if you've been around the New Age world for a little while, self-improvement, that you know there are plenty of $10,000 plus workshops and coaching programs that do not deliver anywhere near either the quality or the amount of content and hands-on experience you're going to get here. I know this because I've been through a lot of these programs. I've spent an enormous amount of money going around to some very well-known people. And I can guarantee you what I'm offering is so much more value. It's crazy. And so the full price, if you add up everything that's included, is actually only $6,612, which honestly, even at that price point, this is the best investment of your life. To learn how to live in the higher dimensions, to do instant healings. I mean, from my experience alone, there have been many lives saved and many more transformed. How much is that worth? You're going to get all of this, and I want to make it a no-brainer. I really want you to go through this program. So I'm going to drop the price all the way down to $497, or there's a payment plan available if you prefer that. And so you get the full 2.5-day live or online weekend intensive. You get a very extensive manual, a recording of the entire event, and an option for professional certification, as well as silver level in my VIP club for 90 days. 90 days of community, practice groups, block clearing calls, Q&A sessions, opportunity for deep learning, plus a whole laundry list of bonuses I don't want to get into now because I want to get into our live healing. But all this is included, and I'm discounting it over 90% because I want to make this an easy decision. This should be a no-brainer. I'm also going to let you know that I'm going to take away all the risk in terms of the money. There is a 100% no questions asked money back guarantee. So I don't want there to be any risk on your part. If you think this won't be as good as I say, come see for yourself. If you disagree, you can have your money back. And it is a conditional money back guarantee with a simple condition. All you need to do is attend the entire first day of the training, either live at the hotel or online. That's it. If you attend the entire first day, just 4 hours, and you don't like it for any reason, you can get 100% of your money back, no questions asked. And you can keep the bonuses, which I don't want to talk about now. There's so many bonuses, it's crazy. Maybe I'll talk about them after the live healing. So no financial risk to you, 100% money back guarantee. It is a condition that you must come to the first day of the live training, just 4 hours. Because I know that when you see how powerful this is, how valuable it is, you're going to want the whole thing. I have total confidence in that. And so I encourage everyone, if you see the value here, which I hope you do, I know you want this, register now. There should be a little button beneath your webcast that says, yes, transform my life. Just click on that. It'll take you to a page with some more information about it. And then you can go ahead and check out, and you'll get everything showed up right in your web browser as well as in your email. Just let us know if you're coming live or online, and we'll take it from there. I think you'll be amazed. And so I know that many of you are ready to invest now. If you see the value here that I do, I know you want to do this. Just click the button on the webcast that says, yes, transform my life. I'm going to give everyone a minute here that wants to go do that. And if you want to stick with us, don't worry. Next is our live healing demonstration. So if anybody has any specific questions for me, please put them into the Q&A. I'll answer all the questions at the end. I will also be doing healings on everybody. If you have any healings you'd like to request, put them into the Q&A. But right now, what I want to do is transition to our live healing demonstration. And so what I've done is I've selected one of the members from my VIP club, and I give away a private session like this every month to a member. And we broadcast it through a call like this so other people can listen in. However, I want you to know that you're not just listening. I'm also including you in all the healings I'm doing. And so all the block clearings we're doing, all the downloads, all the trauma clearings, all the healings, I will also be giving to you. So it's entirely optional, but if you know how to do muscle testing and you want to follow along and check yourself for the blocks, I will also be sending you all the same clearings and healings. So I encourage you to at least listen, if not follow along. I think you'll get tremendous value, even if you're not the person I'm working with. So let's go and make sure they are on the line right here, and we will transition in, and you will actually get to see me do some live healing on a real person with a real problem. All right, welcome, Odalis. How you doing tonight?
Thank you. I'm doing well, thank you.
Great. So Odalis is a member of our Awakening Intensive Mastermind, and one of the perks you get there is to be one of the volunteers for the Heal-a-thon free private sessions. So we're going to do a little one-on-one digging, just as if she had contacted me to book a private session. The difference, of course, is that we're doing this through the Heal-a-thon, and we're going to keep it much shorter, around 10 minutes or so. So let me take 1 second to connect your energy. All right, all set. What would you like to focus on today?
My addiction to sugar.
Okay, all right. When did this start?
When I was very small, a child.
Okay. Childhood, all right. And still a problem?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Go ahead and calibrate your muscle test. Check yourself for yes and no.
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Go ahead and check. I am emotionally addicted to eating sugar.
I'm emotionally addicted to eating sugar, yes.
Okay. I'm physically addicted to eating sugar.
Physically addicted to eating sugar now.
Okay, good. So what do you get out of eating sugar? What does that do for you?
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction, okay. Let's check. I need to eat sugar to have satisfaction.
I need to eat sugar to have satisfaction, yes.
Okay. I think there's a candy bar that actually advertises that, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't it Snickers, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, one of them. Something full of sugar. That's all I know. Go ahead and check.
Right.
I know how to have satisfaction without eating sugar.
I know how to have satisfaction without eating sugar. Yes.
Okay. And I know what it feels like.
I know what it feels like, yes.
Okay, good. Sugar is the best way to have satisfaction.
Sugar is the best way to have satisfaction now.
Okay. It's the only way to have satisfaction.
It's the only way to have satisfaction now.
Okay, good. I need to eat sugar to have satisfaction.
I need to eat sugar to have satisfaction. Yes, for whatever reason.
That's all right. I vow to believe this.
I vow to believe this. Yes.
Okay. I know how to mark this vow completed.
I know how to mark this vow completed. Yes.
Okay. And I know what it feels like.
I know what it feels like. Yes.
Okay, good. The vow is completed.
The vow is completed. Yes.
Okay. I need to eat sugar to have satisfaction.
I need to eat sugar to have satisfaction. No.
Okay, good. What else do you get out of eating sugar?
Happiness for whatever reason.
All right. Let's check. I need to eat sugar to have happiness.
I need to eat sugar to have happiness. Yes.
Okay. I know how to have happiness without eating sugar.
I know how to have happiness without eating sugar. No.
Okay. One more time. I know how to have happiness without eating sugar.
I know how to have happiness without eating sugar. Yes.
Good. And I know what it feels like.
I know what it feels like. Yes.
Okay, good. I need to eat sugar to have happiness.
I need to eat sugar to have happiness. No.
Okay. Yeah, and you probably know that sugar addiction is one of the most common ones. They say that withdrawal from sugar can be equivalent to heroin. So it's a big deal, right?
It really is.
It's a challenge because food is something that is socially acceptable, easily obtainable, and generally inexpensive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that there's a lot of pressures on us to go there. And it's one of the few things that it's, especially if you're overwhelmed or having difficulty really finding meaning or purpose or joy in life, at least in the short term, it's something you can control that gives you that little hit of pleasure, right?
Yes, that's
but
true.
That's almost the definition of emotional eating, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So let's check again. I need to eat sugar to have happiness.
I need to eat sugar to have happiness. No.
Okay, good. What else does sugar do for you?
I would say it gets me out of bind. So what you were saying, when I am under pressure, it just basically relaxes me.
Okay. I need to eat sugar to relax.
I need to eat sugar to relax. Yes.
Okay. I know how to relax without eating sugar.
I know how to relax without eating sugar. No.
Okay, let's give you that. One more time. I know how to relax without eating sugar.
I know how to relax without eating sugar. Yes.
Okay. And I know what it feels like.
I know what it feels like. Yes.
Good. I need to eat sugar to relax.
I need to eat sugar to relax. No.
Good. It's the best way.
It's the best way. Yes.
Okay. We'll release that. It's the best way.
It's the best way. No.
Good. It's the only way for me.
It's the only way for me. No.
Okay, good. What else does sugar do for you?
I guess it brings memories of good times.
Okay.
You know, that's what I got in my mind as a hit. You know, good times.
Okay.
It's my only social way of inducing myself with people because I don't drink alcohol. You know, so sugar is kind of a social programming for me, if you want to say.
All right. No, that's fine. Let's check. I need to eat sugar to be social.
I need to eat sugar to be social. Yes. I got it. Yes.
You might turn your video off and on because your video's frozen.
Oh, turn it off and on?
Yeah, just turn it off and on. That should fix it.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's check. I know how to be social without eating sugar.
I know how to be social without eating sugar. Yes.
Good. And I know what it feels like.
I know what it feels like. No.
Okay. One more time. And I know what it feels like.
I know what it feels like. Yes.
Okay, good. I need to eat sugar to be social.
I need to eat sugar to be social. Yes.
Okay. It's the best way.
It's the best way. Yes.
Okay. We'll let that go. It's the best way.
The best way. No.
Okay. It's the only way for me.
It's the only way for me. No.
Okay, good. I need to eat sugar to be social.
I need to eat sugar to be social. No.
Okay, good. Anything else sugar does for you?
The only other thing that I could think of is it brings me, I think we discussed it, earlier memories. So we spoke about the childhood memory. So
All right, let's check. Eating sugar connects me to my childhood.
eating sugar connects me to my childhood. Yes.
Okay. I know how to be connected to my childhood without sugar.
I know how to be connected to my childhood without sugar. Yes.
Okay. And I know what it feels like.
I know what it feels like. No.
Okay. One more time, and I know what it feels like.
I know what it feels like. Yes.
Good. I need to eat sugar to be connected to my childhood.
I need to eat sugar to be connected to my childhood. Yes.
Okay. It's the best way.
It's the best way. No.
Okay. It's the only way for me.
It's the only way for me. Yes.
Okay. We'll release that. It's the only way for me.
It's the only way for me. No.
Okay. Good. I need to eat sugar to be connected to my childhood.
I need to eat sugar to be connected to my childhood. I have a yes.
Okay. I vow to believe this.
I vow to believe this. Yes.
Okay. I know how to mark the vow completed.
I know how to mark the vow completed. Yes.
Okay. And I know what it feels like.
And I know what it feels like. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The vow is completed.
The vow is completed. Yes.
Okay. I need to eat sugar to be connected to my childhood.
I need to eat sugar to be connected to my childhood now.
Good. All right. I'm emotionally addicted to eating sugar.
I'm emotionally addicted to eating sugar. Yes.
Okay. We'll see if that's ready to release. One more time. I'm emotionally addicted to eating sugar.
I'm emotionally addicted to eating sugar. No.
Okay. So I'll caution you that almost all addiction ultimately is because we're trying to avoid feeling something.
Mm.
And it doesn't really matter what it is, right? Alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that when you're reprogramming the nervous system, there's going to be a tendency to go to want to get a quick fix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to what we're not wanting to feel there.
Mm.
And you have the tools how to get through it, right?
Yes.
All the stuff you've learned in all the trainings.
Yes.
But that's what works.
Okay.
So there's sort of an emotional detox aspect to it to go through.
Uh-huh.
It's just like if you want to quit cigarettes, you can't be running to have a smoke every time you feel stressed, right?
Right.
You have to learn how to feel the stress rather than suppressing it with the addiction, right?
Mm.
It won't last forever. So that's the emotional piece. There's also a physical piece.
Uh-huh.
Now, most people usually would benefit a lot from some kind of prebiotic and probiotic combination, because one of the things that the sugar does is it wrecks the bacterial balance in your gut.
Okay.
And so I don't want to take a lot of time right now to talk about that.
Got it.
You may have your own resources, but we could talk about that in one of the AI sessions or a private session. And I'd want to hear more about kind of what you're doing now and all that, and I could offer some recommendations. Or if you have a nutritionist or someone you really trust that's really good with that, that's great too. You just know that getting the right support in probiotics can make that transition much easier on you.
Okay.
It can make it much shorter and less painful to get switched. And then once you're free of it, the good news is a lot of sugar you won't even like anymore.
Mm.
Like my wife got some Mexican Cokes over the holidays, and I had one. I'm like, I don't even like this anymore. I used to love drinking Coke, right? And then I couldn't drink the American Coke with the corn syrup, but I still like the Mexican Cokes with the cane sugar. Now I just don't like it.
Right.
So the good news is now I'm still working on C's Candy. That's kind of my next hurdle. But just know that once you get yourself reprogrammed, it does get much easier.
And my addiction is more to cane sugar, by the way.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
So that's very interesting that you pointed that out, because it is really there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's finish with the healing, okay?
Yes, please.
So go ahead and close your eyes. You can send love if you want to. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. All right, all set. Did you feel anything?
Yes. A sense of release. I generally get pain on my right side.
Okay.
And I felt a sense of release there. So
we'll see
after
how
I
you do.
eat so much sugar remaining. So
yeah, we'll see how you do. And it would be great. Maybe you can come show up at the next Healathon and let us know the results you got and how things changed after the work we did today. Sound good?
that sounds great.
All right, awesome. Thank you for coming and joining us on the Healathon. And we're going to get back to the slideshow now. So thank you, Odalis. Look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you.
So there you have it. If you come through this program, again, one weekend, that's it, you can develop the skills of a master healer almost overnight. Took me years. I'll give it to you on a silver platter. It really is that fast. I mean, you'll be blown away by how easy it is. That I can guarantee. You will get the most powerful spiritual technology based on real science. I know there's a lot of people that claim, oh, it's based on science. Well, guess what? Most of those people don't know what they're talking about. I am a legitimate scientist and engineer. I got the diplomas on my wall. Heck, you don't believe me? I'll pull my transcripts from MIT. See for yourself. You will get the most powerful technology available anywhere. I'm going to show you how to do powerful instant healings. You'll learn that just on the first night, in the first couple hours. You will experience your genuine spiritual awakening. And if you haven't started down the awakening path, we're going to give you a huge head start. If you've already started it through 30 Days to Awakening or other sources, I'm going to accelerate the process for you, get you a lot closer to your goal. I'm going to share with you the one great lie that creates all suffering. It's really one great lie. And not only will I show you what it is, I'll show you how to dissolve it. Everyone who comes through this, you will be able to clear subconscious blocks in seconds. Guaranteed. I have never had someone that couldn't. Guaranteed, in seconds. You'll be able to install new codes in the subconscious mind instantly. Again, guaranteed. Every single person that's gone through it has been able to do this. I will show you how to raise the setting on your subconscious financial thermostat, because that's the only way to really increase your prosperity over the long run. I will show you how to identify the core blocks, the things hiding in the subconscious that create illness, injury, poverty, depression, etc., and how to identify and clear them for yourself and others. This is exactly what we'll be doing in the live healing in just a couple minutes. I want to show you and help you experience higher consciousness for yourself. We're going to have a deeper, longer, more powerful experience of consciousness shifting. We're going to do the movement. We're going to do some incredible stuff. Remember the blood cell pictures? That's what really happens when you do this. I know you want to experience that. I will show you how to clear harmful radiation from your body and electronics. Now, I will be doing this for you at the end of our webinar tonight, but I know you want to learn to do this for yourself, your family, your friends, your office, your home, in seconds for the rest of your life. That alone, that one thing can make such a huge difference for you. I'm also going to show you how to clear the negative energy around you that's sabotaging your personal power. This again, if you just learn this one thing, this can change your life. And almost everyone that goes through the training can actually notice the difference after you've cleared the energy. It's really incredible. I will explain to you the simple science that explains miracles. I will help you to raise your consciousness significantly and permanently in just one weekend. I mean, how awesome is that? As we've seen from the pictures, you will be able to radically increase and improve the health of every cell of your body. I'm going to offer to you the secrets, the shortcuts, the techniques that I've used, the exact system to create over 1,500 miracle healings that literally saved my mother's life, saved the life of my son. He almost died when he was in the womb. I've seen instant healings on HIV, on cancer, back pain, neck pain, anger, depression, addiction, you name it. And ultimately, I want you to be able to create the conditions for a steady stream of miracles flowing into your life. I know it took me 30 some years before I experienced my first miracle. Now, it's very rare that more than a day or two passes when I don't experience one. There are literally hundreds, thousands of miracles waiting for you. You just need the technology to learn how to access them. And so I know you want to do this. Why wouldn't you, right? It's a no-brainer. You get all of this for just $497 or 3 payments of $199, 100% money back guarantee. So I want to take away all the risk. So you can just click the button on your webcast that says, yes, transform my life. Or if you prefer to enter the URL, it's there on the screen. You can type in awakeningdynamics.com/special. And so I'm very quickly going to mention the bonuses. These are only available if you register during the webinar. Number one, you get the Abundance Toolkit, which is 3 pieces, 2 master classes of 7 videos and workbooks, one on abundance and benevolence, one on spiritual investing. This is really high-level stuff. I normally sell them for $197 each of these pieces. So this is a $600 value just in the first bonus. you get the deep theta guided meditations. These are encoded audios to help you access that theta state. It's a wonderful training tool. And I'm going to give you two versions of 15 and 45 to accelerate your progress, to make it much easier for you to be a healer, a manifester, an intuitive, to master your life. I'm also going to give you an hour-long Secrets of Muscle Testing video training, so you can learn how to do that. So add it all up. Again, if you just want to pay the full price, I don't mind. $29.97 for the weekend training, and at that price, I think it's still the best investment you could ever make. I honestly believe that. You will get an extensive manual and a full recording. Why? I'm going to give you so much powerful content. No matter how smart you are, you can't take it all in the first time, because I want to give you as much value as we can possibly cram into a weekend. And so I give you an extensive manual as well as a full recording, so you can get everything out of it. Again, I want to give you as much value, as much life-changing power as we can possibly cram into one weekend for the lowest price possible that lets me to keep my business running. That is honestly and truly what I'm doing here. You also get 90 days silver level in my VIP club. That's your support, your community, practice groups, Q&A sessions, opportunities for deep learning, demonstrations. Heck, you can even win free privates with me, and a whole long list of bonuses I don't want to go through again. So again, I know that you see the value here. 100% money back guarantee. Everything here, all 7 tools, just $497, or 3 payments of $199, or type in awakeningdynamics.com/special. And you might be wondering, okay, Brent, that seems like a huge claim. You're really going to change my life that much in just a couple days? Transform the blood, teach me dozens of techniques, make me a healer, a block clearer, understand science, begin awakening? How is that possible? Well, I want to answer that. It is possible to achieve this in one weekend. There's a lot of things I've developed, technologies and approaches that no one else has. I'm just going to share one of them here. So here's just one. It's the miracle macros. And here's how it works. 50 years ago, if you needed software, you needed to either write it yourself or go hire someone to do it for you. There was no other choice. And so back then, getting custom software was difficult. Only experts could do it. It was expensive. One program could cost millions. And it was time consuming. It takes months or years to develop code from scratch. Okay. Nowadays, almost any software you need, you can download on the internet. It takes seconds, and most of it's inexpensive. So that's a huge difference, isn't it? What used to be expensive, difficult, time consuming is now almost effortless, almost free. And so as a result, it's quick, it's easy, it's inexpensive. Heck, a lot of apps just cost a few dollars. Totally different world, right? Well, guess what? This is exactly what I have done with energy healing, with the law of attraction, with awakening. When I first learned this stuff, it was all these complex steps and words and visualizations. Did you know it took me over 3 months of daily practice and private sessions and seminars before I did one healing? It'll cost me like, I don't know, $9,000, $10,000 just to do one healing. And it took me 7 years of full-time work to become a master healer. Well, that's because back when I first started doing this, learning healing and awakening was difficult. It was expensive and it was time consuming. But guess what? I've created one of the technologies you're going to get is called the miracle macros. And so I've spent years literally writing the energy code for doing healings and block clearings and space clearing and all that stuff. And I can download it straight into your subconscious mind. It makes learning a healing technique as easy as downloading a new app. And so how is it possible? Well, again, I've spent my whole life, my whole career developing the code for this. For instant healing, subconscious block clearings, intuitive readings, manifesting, space clearing, radiation clearing, and a lot more. And during this intensive, I will download it straight into your subconscious and show you how to use it. And literally doing healings is just as easy as downloading an app and running it. You will see for yourself. And so that's how, in just one weekend, I can teach you all of these things. Healings, clearings, awakening, the science, manifesting, intuition, how to dig, how to locate core blocks. And I wouldn't expect you'll be a master healer after just 2 days, but you might after 2 months. You will have the skill and power of a master healer within a matter of weeks or a few months, just by learning and applying with everything you're getting included here. And that's one of the reasons I give 90 days in the VIP club. I want you to go to the practice groups, to have opportunity for Q&A, to work with partners, to really master this. And so you're going to get world-beating technology and teaching, hands-on supervised practice, ongoing support, community, Q&A opportunities, live practice group, deep learning, all included, no extra charge. And so it includes the live ticket to the weekend, either again at the hotel or online, your choice, extensive manual. You will use all of these 7 secrets, every one of them. You'll also get a full recording. And I want to mention, if you prefer to come live, but I'm not able to accommodate you, either because the room is sold out, I do use a small room to keep it intimate, or because we're doing an online only course, if you register and come online, I will give you a free retake to come live next time. So again, that's for those who, for whatever reason, if you want to come live to the hotel, but I can't accommodate you, please attend online and I will give you a free retake to come to the hotel next time and guarantee your spot. So I hope that helps. You will actually use all these 7 secrets. There will be a lot of hands-on practice. Day 1, we're going to cover awakening and instant healing. Everybody gives and receives a healing on the very first day. And we always see miracles happen the first day. And I would love to hear about your miracle too. Day 2, we show you how to talk to the subconscious, how to do block clearings and downloads, and how to access your intuition. We also cover how to locate the core blocks. On day 3, we cover manifesting and embodiment, as well as a grab bag of applications like the space clearing, the radiation clearing, the science of healing. So lots of hands-on supervised practice. And you will also get 90 days of support and community in the VIP club. We do practice groups every week. We have frequent Q&A sessions, block clearing calls. I do live demonstrations. I give away privates to the members. And there's a huge archive of what I call deep learning. Master classes, recorded calls, recorded sessions, articles, videos, special material. All of it for just $4.97 or 3 payments of $1.99. Just click the button that says yes, transform my life. It should be on the webcast, or type in the URL, awakeningdynamics.com/special. Pretty easy. And of course, you're covered by the no questions asked 100% money back guarantee. All you have to do is attend the first day of the live class. And if you don't like it, if you don't feel it's worth twice what you paid, just let me know. You can drop out and get all your money back, and you can still keep the bonuses. And I want to make this a no-brainer because I think that you really need to learn this stuff. It will change your life so much. Literally, almost every day of my life, I get emails from students thanking me. Oh my gosh, Brent, I'm so glad I did your program, and tell me about the incredible things they've learned. So I want to make it a no-brainer. I want to take away all the financial risk. But you need to make your commitment if you want to get the lowest price point and all the bonuses and the money back guarantee. You can come back at any time if you want to pay the full price, the $66.12, no problem. I'm happy to accommodate you. But if you want to take advantage of the $4.97 or the 3 payment offer, if you want to get all the bonuses, everything included, you need to make your investment during the webinar. So again, just click the button or put in the URL. All right, there we go. All right, Gene, thank you. I think we're good. I want to make sure everyone can hear me okay and see me okay. Can you just give me a little thumbs up? Are we good? Still no audio? Okay. All right. All right, no audio? Are we good? Okay, we got it? All right, awesome. Yeah, I have a brand new headset, so I'm still kind of figuring it out. The Jabra is supposed to be super comfortable. All right, so first thing, Caroline, I'm going to post the link for anybody that there should be a little button on your screen that says, yes, transform my life. If for whatever reason you're having trouble with that, let me post the link in the chat room. So for Caroline and anyone else that's having trouble, there's the link for you in the chat room. You can just click on that. Or if you click the button that says, yes, transform my life, that will take you to the same place. So that is the registration page. If you have any trouble, make a fuss in the chat room. I'll be on here for, probably another hour and a half answering questions, doing healings. And if anybody has a technical trouble with the checkout, what you want to do is just email. You can either let me know here, or you can email support@awakeningdynamics.com. And if you're having a technical problem, like your card is declined or your browser crashed, I will extend the deadline, but only if you go and try it and you have a problem. You say, hey, Brent, I tried to check out and it froze on me. Just let me know. Just email support@awakeningdynamics.com. And of course, I will extend the offer if you had some technical problem trying to register. Hope that makes sense. So one thing I wanted to do was deliver to everybody. I promised you the 5 ways to a theta brainwave. So I'm going to give that to you right now. And I see a lot of questions coming in. We are about 2-3 minutes from the Q&A. And I will be answering the question about those that are out of town or want to come to a live room. That's top of my list here. So the 5 ways to a theta brainwave. I'm going to post the link in the chat room right now, and I'll post it a couple times before we finish. So that's the 5 ways to a theta brainwave book. That is only available here on the Healathon webinar a couple times a year. So grab it if you want it. I think you'll love it. This is good stuff. So just click on that. Should download right to your thing. Phone, device, computer, cloud, VR goggles, chip in your head, whatever you guys are using today. Wanted to quickly go over the instructions for how to submit either healing requests or for questions. So here's how you do it. If you look at the webinar jam, you should see at the bottom of the chat room, there's a little thing that says chat mode. And if you just want to type into the chat room, you can just type in the chat room. If you want to send something to me, in other words, if you have a question you want me to answer here tonight, or if you have a request for a healing, this is what you do. You click on those 3 little dots and select Ask a Question. And then just type it in. And it'll come straight to me. And it will flag it in my chat as a question sent to me. And I ask you to do that because there's a lot of chat tonight, and it will take me way too long to sort through all the chat to find all your questions and healing requests. So if you put in a question earlier that hasn't been answered, or you have a request for healing, I know JJ, full disclosure, JJ is my wife. I rope her into helping me at these things because in the past I had one of my local students come in and do it, but during the COVID pandemic, we don't want to have anyone outside the household come in unless it's absolutely necessary. So that was my wife, JJ. She just took off. So it's just going to be me for the rest of tonight. I know she's copied down a lot of your questions. So if you put it in earlier as a question, I have a whole list of questions that were submitted. I will absolutely answer those. I just want to go through it. So if you want to be sure that I answer your question or give you the healing, just do that again. I'll go through it again real fast. Go down to the bottom, click on the 3 little dots, click Ask a Question, and then it'll come straight to me. In terms of the offer for the live weekend, I'll post the link one more time in the chat room. You can also just click the button. It should say, yes, transform my life in the webinar jam window. So that's the one that says the Thrive Cart, Secrets to Higher Dimensional Living. That's for the live weekend. And excuse me for 1 second here. I'm just madly cutting and pasting your healing request to make sure I don't miss anything. So that's for anybody that wants to register for the live weekend. Anybody that is, if you didn't grab the 5 ways to a theta brainwave book, I'll post the link again right now. That's your free bonus you can only get during the webinar. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Jade and Russo, yes, I do have some movement videos. I got a couple that I have queued up. I want to answer some questions first, but we will absolutely, I'm happy to play a couple. They're very short. They're about a minute and a half each. And so for everyone, don't worry, I'll post the link to the book and all that several times before we finish. I used to have a button on the webinar, but if you have multiple buttons, they cover each other up and it's a big problem. So anyhow, just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, so just madly copying across your healing requests. So everyone just give me a second here. One of my beefs with Webinar Jam is it doesn't save all the chat. It only saves a certain amount of it. So I'm going to make sure I copy these down so I don't miss them. And then I want to answer all your questions. So questions. Okay, all right, one more set of questions and healing requests. Popping these down so I don't lose them. All right, so I will put in the links for everyone one more time. So keep your eye on the chat room. If you want the 5 Ways to a Theta Brainwave book, I'll post that again right now. So just click the link in the chat room. And if you're looking to register for the weekend, you can either hit the button that says, yes, transform my life, or click the link in the chat room. And don't worry, when you click the link, it doesn't register you automatically. It just takes you to a page that has all the information, the days, the times. It also has the full list of bonuses. So you might want to check that out. All right, so great questions. I want to start by answering some of them. So let's see. There were a bunch of people. There's 3 questions I got from like a dozen people, so I want to answer those first. The first question I got from a lot of people was, is there a live room? The answer is not this time, because we're in Los Angeles, and both ethically and legally, I can't hold live rooms until California is in what they call phase 4 reopening. However, as soon as we're able to, what I'm going to do is every person that has attended online during the pandemic, I'm going to give you the option to retake in a live room for free. So what I would say is, if you want to come to the live room, that's awesome. I prefer a live room too. Like, I love being in front of a group of people. We can hang out by the water cooler at the breaks, get together for lunch, right? I get it. But right now, it's not safe to do so, and would also violate the local regulations. And so, being a big fan of common sense and not being a big fan of breaking laws, we're going to go 100% online, and you will get a free retake in the live room when they're available. And I do that for a couple of reasons. One, I really want you to learn this and start practicing it right now. I don't want you to have to wait 6 months or a year, however long it takes to reopen, before you start learning and applying this. Another reason is I really encourage everyone to go through this at least twice, maybe 3 times. There's so much value here that this is not like most self-improvement programs. I've been to hundreds of self-improvement seminars to expand to fill a weekend. I'm going to throw life-changing ideas and concepts and techniques at you every 5 or 10 minutes. There will be 20, 30, 50 things you're going to learn and do, any one of which can change your life. So you'll be shocked at how much more value you get going through the recordings or attending a second time. So just to be clear, I want everyone to know, if you register online, when we are able to reopen and do live rooms, you will have the opportunity to do a free retake. So that's kind of the best I can do. And I will post the links for the book a couple times before we finish. Don't worry about that. So I want to answer some questions first, then I'll go and post the link. I'm also just trying to keep up, make sure I don't miss anybody's questions or healing requests. And question, there are people that are doing live events. They are technically breaking the law. Now, I don't want to get into a big legal political discussion of the governor's power and the local health board and all that. Let me just say, it would not be worth it to me to hold a live room if one person got sick or died or infected their family. I'm not okay with that. And I don't want to get into a big thing about COVID, but to think that you're immune to it because you know energy healing, that's a very immature attitude. I know, because I went through that phase myself. Back in 2004, when I was just learning healing, I got bit by a dog. And I said, no, I don't want antibiotics. I can just heal it. I was right. I was okay. I didn't need antibiotics. But I look back, I go, that was irresponsible, because you don't know for sure. So, just know that that's a very immature attitude. That's someone that doesn't really know what they're doing or is relatively new to this. I've been doing this full time for almost 20 years. I've taught well over 100 weekend intensive. I've done over 20,000 hours of private sessions. If it was that simple that you could wave a magic wand and make a deadly virus disappear 100% of the time, I would do that. But there's not. It may be 90%, it may be 95%, but that's not good enough for me. It's not worth it to me to risk one person's life just so we can have the convenience of a live room. And personally, I'm not going to those yoga studios that have 10 or 12 people. Why? You don't know if you've been infected. And even if you're going to be fine because you can heal yourself, the people you expose or their family or friends may not. So again, I just want to use common sense. So that's why I'm offering. Please take it online. You're going to love the online experience. The upside of the pandemic is my online game has gone up significantly. I have done all this acoustic refinement in my room. I have better headsets. I have better cameras. I have better lighting. I have better slideshows. I have better technology. So the live experience, the online experience has gotten much better in the last year. But so again, you will do it online, take it as soon as you can. And I will give you a free retake in the live room when we're able to. I hope that makes sense. So next question. Okay, the other question I got about 15 times was this. Brent, I would love to do this, but I can't make it next weekend. So here, the simple answer. This is what I want you to do. Register right now. You're going to get all the information and just ask for a transfer. You're going to get your free private session. You're going to get all the bonuses. You're going to get to take it whenever it meets your schedule. Not only will I give you a free transfer and the free private, I will also give you all the recordings and materials from next weekend so that you don't have to wait for the next live class to start learning. So register now. Just when you RSVP, just say, hey, Brent, I can't make it next weekend. We'll reply, say, no problem. We'll put you on the next list, and we will give you all the materials and recordings from next weekend, as well as all the bonuses, as well as your free private. So I hope that makes sense. And let's see. So would love to have you join us. And let's see. Oh, the other question, I got a bunch of versions of this. People will say, hey, Brent, can you clear all my blocks to money or all my blocks to health or whatever it may be? So that's a good question. The truth is, there is no magic wand anybody has anywhere that I'm aware of that can just bang you with a magic wand and clear all your blocks. However, I can show you the process of how to identify and clear them one by one at a time. So that's how we can do it. It's funny, I mentioned earlier that if you think that learning energy healing makes you immune to all problems in life, that's a very immature thing. It's not wrong to be immature, it's just a phase of development, right? Children are immature because they're children, right? It's just how it is. That's why we don't give children driver's licenses or firearms, right? I love my child more than anything in the world, but I would not hand him a loaded gun and I would not give him the keys to the family car, right? Why? He's immature. He can't handle that responsibility. So there is no way to just clear all the blocks. However, you can learn to clear them one at a time or in small groups, depending on the level of technology you're using. And I don't want to get too much off track, but there's a lot of different levels to what I'm teaching you. There are more foundational basic tools, such as the muscle testing and the block clearing. Those are very accessible, meaning everyone can learn it and apply it and get results right away. I'm also going to introduce you to some of the more advanced techniques I learned from my mentor, Carl, including the consciousness shifting, the movement feedback holography, the study of awakening. Those have a much steeper learning curve, but are ultimately a lot more powerful. So you're going to get both. You're going to get things that are easy to learn, may not be quite as powerful, but much easier to learn and apply. You'll also get some of the advanced material that's really turns your brain inside out, is harder to learn, but is phenomenally powerful. So there's the mix of them. So I hope that makes sense. So can I clear all your blocks with a magic wand? No. But we can do it slowly in private sessions or come to the training and I will show you how to do it. And this is what I would encourage everyone to do. Come to the training. You're going to learn how to do all this stuff, how to do healings, theta state, block clearings, downloads, manifesting, space clearing, soul fragments, awakening. You will learn and practice all of these things. Some healing and clearing you'll be able to do on your own, just on yourself. So that's a chunk of it. A chunk of the clearing you'll be able to do with the people you meet in class or in the practice groups. We have twice a week practice groups we're holding right now through the VIP Club. So you don't just get a weekend. You get a 3-day weekend, live weekend with me, plus 90 days of 2-a-week live practice groups. So that's like 15 hours a month of live practice groups. So it's 40 to 50 hours of live practice groups. All that's included. So you'll be able to clear a chunk of your blocks in the practice groups and with other students. And if there'll be a small amount of really tough ones, you may want to work with me or another professional. So, I would say doing the trainings will eliminate 60, 80% of your need for professional healer sessions, because you'll be able to do it, a lot of it on your own or in the groups. There'll be some big stuff you may need a pro's help with, right? Just like I occasionally go to doctors, right? I had a kidney stone 7 years ago. First thing I did was I had my wife drive me to the hospital. I'm like, okay, this is one I need a doctor. But a lot of stuff I can handle on my own. I don't need to go to the doctor nearly as much as most men my age would. So I hope that makes sense. And that's the honest answer. Okay, other questions? Lillian asks, how many more courses do I have to take to use this with client? The answer is 0. That this is it, just the one weekend. Now, what I'll say is, if you're very experienced with energy healing, if you've been around this world for 20, 30 years like me, and you've done maybe quantum touch or healing codes or, things like that, you'll be able to learn it and apply it and start working with clients very quickly, maybe right after next Sunday. If you're brand new to this and you haven't done healing work before, you probably won't be ready to just immediately work with people off the street. That will take some practice. That's what the practice groups are for. That's why you get 90 days of practice groups included with the training. So come to the practice groups, apply it and learn it. And within 1, 2, 3 months, depending on your ability and your priority and how hard you're willing to work, you will develop that skill and you will be able to work with people, your friends, your family. But you don't have to do any more trainings. There are a couple advanced trainings for those that want to do it, but I don't want to get into that tonight. Okay, Frank asks, how much extra is the official practitioner certification? The answer, Frank, is 0. It's included. So there's a little process to it that I want to make sure you've gone through all the class, all the presentations, all the exercises, but you can get officially certified as an Awakening Dynamics practitioner from this weekend. So if you want to put that on your business card or your website or flyers or Facebook page or whatever, that is included, no extra charge. All right. So lots of good questions coming in. I will answer them. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So I sometimes go to just copy them to another page. All right. So next question. Okay. Jasper asked, will there be a recording? Yes, there will be a full recording of the live weekend, and so you get the whole thing recorded. Just I want to emphasize, attend live as much as you can. There are some things that don't translate to the recording, like the consciousness shifting process. You'll get a replay link for this webinar. You can watch that whole process again on the replay. You'll find it's not nearly as powerful. So a lot of the exercises really have to be done live. But yes, you will get a full recording if you miss something, or if you just want a refresher. It's all included. There's a thick manual. You get a 114-page manual, all included, step by step, all included. Okay, Grace asks, how much extra is the 90 days in the club thingy? Okay, the truth answer is, Grace, it cost $1. Only because I can't violate the credit card policies by giving you a free trial that's free. I have to charge $1. So it's $1 for 90 days in the VIP club, which includes all my master classes. Over 700 articles and videos on 44 different topics, twice a week practice groups, and a lot of other stuff for $1. And if the $1 is an obstacle to you, I will refund that. No problem. I just have to do that because that's the way the credit card statement works. And the question is, to get all the bonuses, you need to register tonight before we finish. There will be a register later price that's a little higher that doesn't include some of the bonuses. The biggest difference is if you don't register tonight, the price does go up, and I'm not including the private session. So anyone that registers on this event tonight, you will get all the bonuses, the entire event, the recording, a free private with me, and 90 days in the VIP club with the twice-a-week practice groups and my entire library of master classes, plus the 100% money-back guarantee, all for $497. So hope that makes sense. Okay, Tracy asked if we transfer, what happens to the 90 days? The 90 days, you decide when that starts. So some of you may register tonight. If you want to start tonight, you can start tonight. Most people start right after they do the live weekend. So if you want to start February 13th or 15th or 22nd, that's fine. If you want to wait for a while, if you want to start your 90 days in May, that's okay too. So the 90 days starts whenever you want it to start. Now, I suppose at some point the software will change and it won't work, right? So don't wait 7 years, right? But anytime this year, no problem. Okay. Bonnie asks, what percentage of my students can clear subconscious blocks after doing this weekend? Bonnie, 100%. I have never had a student who couldn't do healings or clear blocks after the one training. Now, there are some advanced things you may or may not get during the weekend. For example, not everyone is going to be great at intuitive readings. Some get it right away, some people don't. Not everyone can do the movement feedback and learn how to give feedback like I do. Not everyone can tune into the quantum field. So not everything we cover will you guaranteed to be a master of. Because that's why I say some of the stuff is more basic, easier to learn. Some of it's more advanced, steeper learning curve, but more powerful. But the healings, the block clearings, the subconscious downloads, 100%. Okay, let's see. William asks, I am kind of a slow learner. Is it possible to get some of the materials ahead of time so I can study them before the intensive? Absolutely, William. So here's what I found. There's two basic kinds of learners. Some people are just like, hey, Brent, please don't make me read or study or watch anything. I just want to show up to the live event. If that's you, no problem. Just show up at the live event, whatever it is, right? If it's next weekend or the next one, I think is coming in May, first or second weekend in May, so it's not far. If you're the kind of person that just wants to show up and do it live, no problem. That's how most people do it. However, there's a second kind of learner that kind of likes to have it all mapped out and get stuff ahead of time. So what you'll find is the material you're going to get instant access to the course manual. So you can read that, print it out as soon as you register. I will also post some of the recordings of past events for you. So if you want to go through the recordings of the past events before next weekend to get better prepared, I'm happy to give that to you for free. I just don't think you have to, right? Most people aren't like that. I'm kind of like that. I'd be like, hey, I want to read the book ahead of time. So you can do it either way. You can either just show up next Friday, go through the live weekend, and that's great. Or if you want to get all the materials and watch all the recordings of a past event first, I'll do that for you too. No extra charge. Because I want to do everything I can to support you in your journey, no matter what your learning style is. Hope that makes sense. All right, more questions. Okay, Jenny asks, can you help with emotional and spiritual healing? Absolutely, Jenny. So one of the things you want to understand is some things can heal very quickly and easily with just a fast process. Other things, there may be a lot of subconscious clearing that has to be done first. So tonight, when we do the healings, I'm going to give it my best shot to do a healing on everyone that submits. Just understand that some of the stuff you may have to go in and dig out of the subconscious to get a result. Other things you won't. So have we seen miracles happen on the Healathon? Yes, we have. But the rate of miracles is relatively low, only because we're not doing a lot directly with your subconscious to clear it first, right? The rate of success with the healing just goes up and up and up the more time you can prepare clearing the subconscious. And that's why I would love you to do the weekend, because I'm going to teach you both. I'm going to teach you how to get to a theta state and how to do healings on Friday. Then on Saturday, I'm going to show you how to work the subconscious. So I hope that makes sense. So can you heal? Can XYZ be healed? Absolutely. Anything can be healed. It's only a question of how much subconscious work, how many other transformations and changes do we have to get you ready, right? So it'd be like asking Brent, can I deadlift 100 pounds? The answer is, I don't know. Some people can do it with 5 minutes of training. Other people may need to build up to it over a few months. But almost anyone can deadlift 100 pounds. But for some people, it'll take more work than others. Same thing with healing. Anything can be healed, but for some people, it may be a long and difficult process. For others, it may be short and fast. And we're all on a different path, right? And trust me, my job as a healer would be so much easier if I had a crystal ball that would tell me exactly how much time and energy and money is required to get a certain result. Life doesn't work that way. What I'm offering you is a state-of-the-art process. What results come with that process is going to be different for different people. And that's just the truth. Anyone that tells you otherwise, don't believe them. Okay? Okay, question, can damage from a stroke be healed? Yes. Sometimes we get a magic wand where you do the healing and boom, you notice a difference. That's great. Other times we may have to do a lot of subconscious clearing, and then you'll start to see results. Other times you may need to do subconscious clearing and healing and do something supplementary. You might need a supplement. You might need physical therapy. You might need exercise. You might need to change your diet. So it's hard to know, but anything can be transformed or healed, but it's difficult to know exactly what the process is. Let me give everyone an example. When I first got introduced to this work, when I had that first session with Terry, which was actually tomorrow, 18 years ago. So it was 18 years minus 1 day ago, I had the surgery. And I woke up and my arm was paralyzed. Then a couple months later, I went to see Terry, and we did this healing process with the subconscious clearing and the muscle testing, and she did healing. My elbow went pop, and I could move it. And I'm like, oh, crap, I can move my arm. Wow, right? That really happened. But all the chronic pain I'd been in for years that led me to have the surgery, that did not heal instantly. It did not. It took me a couple years to really make a big dent in it. It took me a lot more private sessions, group trainings, practice groups. But over time, with a combination of healings and subconscious clearing, in addition to physical therapy, and I did a raw food diet for 90 days, and I went on an anti-inflammation diet, and I, started exercising differently through a combination of these things, I did overcome it. But it was a tough one. So this is why I say this is important. The question isn't whether or not you can get to your goal. The question is, are you going to give up before you get there? That's the question. If I had given up 6 months after the miracle with my elbow, I never would have recovered my health. But I was fortunate, through God's grace, I stuck with it. And again, it took me a couple years to really get past the chronic pain, to really make a difference. And it was more than just a healing. It also took other things, but I got there. I've had other things that just healed very quickly and easily. I had Lyme disease for 17 years. All it took for me to heal that was subconscious clearing, healings, and teacher oil. Now, I can't promise that's a recipe that's going to work for everybody with Lyme disease. That's why I say everyone's different. But that was an easy one for me. It took me less than a month to go from chronic Lyme to completely clear. For others, it may be a more difficult road. With money, you saw the example with Michael. That really happened. He came to the weekend. I did a 15-minute demo on him. Anybody that's coming to this weekend, if you want to see the whole session, I'll give it to you. The whole session is about 17 and a half minutes. I did a bunch of clearings on him, and $130,000 showed up 2 days later. That really happened. It's not always that easy, but sometimes it is. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so questions. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, let me repost the links for you guys. So I'm going to repost the link first. This is the 5 ways to a theta brainwave. So if you missed it, you can click it now. And I'm also going to repost the link in case you haven't been to the checkout page for the weekend intensive. I just posted that. If you have troubles, email support at awakeningdynamics.com. So if for whatever reason, if you can't download the book for whatever reason, just shoot an email to my assistant. Say, hey guys, I was on the webinar last night. I couldn't download the 5 ways to a theta brainwave, and my assistant will send it to you. Cool? Cool. I got you covered, right? Okay. Okay, request for healing, request for healing, request for cat healing, no problem. I love cats. I'm a big animal person. Cats are my favorite. I'm a shameless cat person. My kitties are my soulmates and some of my best spiritual teachers. Okay, request for healing for mom. One thing I'll say to get the best result, if you're requesting a healing for another person, they do need to be aware we're doing this and give me permission, right? So we can't do healings on people kind of secretly. But if you want me to do a healing for your mom, just text her or call her up and say, "Hey, Brent," or "Hey, mom, I'm on this webinar. Is it okay if this guy does a healing for you?" That's all we need. You're much more likely to get a good result when someone acknowledges and gives permission. So that's how we do that. Okay, request for healing. Lewis is asking, when are we doing another healathon? I'm not sure, but generally I do them 3-4 times a year. And I've had a lot of people ask about the money. This is just my honest opinion. If you're totally broke and you're about to get evicted or you can't feed your kids, please don't do this. I don't want that kind of karma. I don't want you to cause that kind of harm to yourself or your family, right? But if you have to stretch a little bit, sometimes that's what the universe requires. So if you're going to wait around until you have 3 days with nothing else to do and $500 you have no other use for, you're never going to do it. So if this is really important to you and you have to stretch a little bit, you might want to. But again, if your kids are going to go hungry or something like that, please don't. I don't want to cause that kind of harm to anybody. It's okay to wait. It may cost more in the future. I am planning on phasing out of doing these myself. I'm slowly going to be introducing my students to do more and more of it. I would prefer to focus on the advanced trainings. And if I have my students take these over, I can do more of the advanced trainings and spend more time creating new material. So if you wait, the price may go up and you may not get as much of me. But, again, if that's what it takes to feed your kids and keep a roof over your head, wait. But if you can do it, but it's a little bit of a stretch, you know what? I was on total disability when I learned this. My disability payments didn't even cover my rent. So I was going into the hole every month, over $1,000. But I went and I collected the money and I did it. And it wasn't easy, but this is what I knew I had to do to get out of my hole. Because if you sit around and don't do anything, these things generally, some problems generally don't solve themselves, right? So, again, up to you. But if you want all the discounts, all the bonuses, including the free private with me, you got to register during the webinar. Cool. All right, so request for healing. Okay, what does it do for depression and anxiety? Great question. Depression and anxiety usually take a little more work than just a simple healing, because there's usually a lot of subconscious stuff involved with emotional disorders or mood disorders. So anxiety wasn't so much my thing, but I suffered from crushing depression for most of my adult life. I remember going in to see doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists and psychopharmacologists and all these people, and they'd be like, "Brent, you can tell me honestly, have you ever had a suicidal thought?" And I'd be like, "I've had 6 since I walked into your office today," right? So it took me time to overcome it, but I did. And for me, it was really mostly healing and coaching that did it, right? A lot of subconscious clearing, coaching on how to reframe things in my mind. I needed both. For me, the nutritional stuff didn't work. The psychiatric drugs all made me go nuts. And I tried tryptophan and St. John's wort and a lot of the nutrition stuff, which works for some people, didn't do anything for me. But the healing, the coaching, the awakening process, that's what did the trick. So absolutely, you can overcome this. Depression, usually anxiety takes a little more work than a straightforward physical thing. But absolutely, I want to give you all the tools to do so. And if money is tight, do the trainings, come to the groups, and heal yourself that way. If you have a bigger budget, then you can supplement the trainings with some one-on-ones and with me and get there faster. Yeah, no pressure, just different options, right? We all have to work. We all have budgets to work with. I have a friend, no joke. He paid Tony Robbins $880,000 for a mastermind. that did not include 1 second of one-on-one time with Tony. So, I would like to do that, but I'm not in a place to lay down $1 million for a mastermind. We all have our limits, right? We all got to work with what we have. But that's what I'd recommend. Can depression be healed? Yes. Can energy be healed? Yeah. Again, with everything, a simple healing might help. A lot of the time, you're going to have subconscious stuff. Sometimes there may be adjustments to diet, lifestyle, supplements needed. There's no one answer for everything. But if that were me or my family, this is the first thing I would do. Okay, chronic fatigue. Yep. Okay. All right. So, Vala just said the software isn't working for her. So I'll just say, if you gals, are having any trouble with anything, you can always email my assistant, support@awakeningdynamics.com, and let them know what you need, and we'll take care of you. If you need to get the Theta Brainwave book, just say you're on the webinar. We'll send it to you. If you need us to register you for the event, just say so. We got you covered. So anyone that's having trouble with the chat room or the links or the software, just email support@awakeningdynamics.com. As long as your email comes in before the end of the webinar, you're going to get the offer with all the bonuses and the free private. Okay, request for healing, request for healing. Okay, request for healing. And I'm not saying anybody's names or problems just because I want to protect your privacy, but I'm seeing everything that comes in. The 3 dots sends to admin only, which is me. Okay, request for healing. Okay, question, can we piggyback off someone else's healing? Generally not. I would request your own, even if someone else has the identical problem. You still want to post and request your own. It'll work better that way. Okay, request for healings. Question, will we be able to do healings from the theta state after the seminar? Yes. It won't just be after the event, it'll be on Friday. So on the first day, by the time we finish Friday, you will know how. You will have not only learned how, but you will have actually done a theta wave healing and received one. So everybody gives and receives a healing on Friday. So you'll learn that just on the first day. Saturday is all about the subconscious. So we cover muscle testing, how the subconscious works, how beliefs are created, the levels of beliefs, different kinds of brain waves. We show you how to do intuitive readings, how to do block clearings, downloads, how to manifest. And then on Sunday is a lot of how to do digging and clearings, how to do space clearing, radiation clearing, how to work with animals, how to work with children, how to get in, how to ask the right questions to find the blocks. So that, and as well as the advanced work, the the consciousness shifting, the movement feedback, holography, a lot of that's on Sunday. Okay, how does this work in comparison to quantum sorcery? I would say that there's a lot of good teachers and systems out there, some better than others. What I have found is there's, I don't want to go too far off track, but I really want to talk about this. It's a great question. The way I see the world, there's 3 generations of consciousness technology. Oh, and before we go in, you guys should all see on the slide, you guys and gals, just so you know, I'm from California. I say guys and gender inclusive. So if you're having trouble with the button, you can just type into your browser awakeningdynamics.com/special. That'll work too. So that'll take you to the registration page. So if you're having trouble with the links or you can't see the buttons because Webinar Jam doesn't work on your phone or whatever, just type into your browser awakeningdynamics.com/special. That'll take you right there. All right, so what I was saying, I kind of see this whole industry, self-improvement, energy healing, spiritual work, divided into 3 generations of technology. The first generation of consciousness technology is what we call the law of attraction, conventional positive thinking, right? So Tony Robbins and The Secret and stuff like that. It's not wrong, it's just old technology. So just like a Model T is still a car, right? It works. It's a lot better than walking, right? Especially if you're carrying your groceries with you. But it's nowhere near the same as, say, a Tesla Model S. So the first generation is a good foundation, but it doesn't give a lot of people a lot of results. It works for some people. So that would be typical positive thinking, mantras, law of attraction, vision boards, stuff like that. Worth learning, but it can only take you so far. The second generation of consciousness technologies gets into working directly with the subconscious. So some kinds of hypnosis, anything that uses muscle testing and energy clearings. So things like quantum touch or healing codes or Psych-K. These would all I'd put into what we call the second generation. Definitely doing better. That one of the hallmarks of second generation tech is you'll start to see medical miracles. You start to see people instantly heal from diseases or depression or things like that. So that's what I would call the second generation. And almost all the stuff out there is first or second gen. Again, it's not wrong. It's just old technology, right? A Model T is first generation car technology, right? A Mustang from 1965 might be second generation, and a Tesla Model S would be third gen, right? They're all cars. They'll all get you to the grocery store and back. But some are just much more reliable, much faster, higher performing, more comfortable, better stereo, etc., right? And so the third generation is really awakening and the quantum field work. That's the advanced work with the steepest learning curve. So the study of awakening, understanding the self, learning how to read energy, learning how to do the movements, how to get consciousness literally pushed back into your body. How to entrain into the quantum field, see energy in ours with your open eyes. That's the third generation. And so what I'm offering you is I'm not going to spend really any time on the first generation. You should all know about the basics of positive thinking. You've all probably seen The Secret or something like it, right? So we're almost no time will be spent on that. What I am going to offer you is the most advanced technology of the second gen. So I will show you how to identify blocks with muscle testing and clear them. But the way I'm going to show it to you, you're going to be able to clear 1,000 people in under 5 seconds. I don't know of any of these other systems that can do that. And this is with minimal training, folks. You'll be able to do this on Saturday afternoon. You'll be able to clear a block in seconds. And it's very easy to scale that up. So the second gen I'm going to teach you is faster, easier, more powerful, simpler, easier than I think anything out there that I'm aware of, including all the things that have been mentioned. Even though the essential mechanics are the same, right? But I'm also going to offer you the third generation. That is really very hard to find. I'm not going to say unique, but very rare. So to be able to explain awakening in a way you'll understand, I don't know anyone else that can do it like I can. It took me 10 years to wake up. Most of my students, it happens in a matter of days or weeks. I don't know anybody else other than my late mentor, Carl, who can tune the quantum field and turn on that ability to see energy and auras, to read the human energy field, to see the stories and myths, to collapse it with feedback, to see those instant transformations. So that's not available anywhere else that I'm aware of. There are other people out teaching his work. I don't want to mention them by name or say anything negative. I'll just say this. There's a reason that I'm the only person that Carl ever certified to carry on his work to teach and practice it. So I'll just leave it at that. So I hope that's a good answer for you. And I did have a lot of healing requests coming in. I just don't want it would take me probably an hour to read them all off. But don't worry, every single one that's come in, I have seen. Okay. Okay. Yep. Let's see. Okay, question. Are there ways to do this without using muscle testing? Long question, but that's the gist of it. So a couple answers. Number one, almost every week of my life, I have someone that writes me and says, hey, Brent, I love your work, but I just can't do muscle testing. And I get on the phone with them and they're doing it within 10 minutes. So most people are able to do it when they're trained properly. Just most people haven't had proper training. If you still can't do it after getting the right training, what it means is this. You are too stuck in your head. You can't feel your body. The advanced work with the quantum field and the movement, that will get the consciousness, get you back into your body, and that ability will turn on. So can you do healing without muscle testing? Sure. It's a little harder. It's a little slower. Your success rate will be lower, but you can do it without it. But if you know what you're doing, if you go through this training and really apply what you're learning, especially if you want to do the advanced trainings, where we do a lot more of the advanced work, that will get you back into your body, and you will be able to do it at some point. It took me 3 years to learn muscle testing. 3 years. Why? I was so in my head. But nobody understood that. They would just say, well, do this and it happens, and I do it and it wouldn't. So 2 answers. Yes, you can do this without muscle testing, but if you can really learn how to get present to really reconnect to that quantum field, that ability will turn on for you at some point. So don't give up. Okay, request for healing, request for healing. Yeah, it's just a comment from Jean I want to relay here. She said some of these teachers holding live rooms right now say, oh, you only get cancer or COVID if you decided to get it. That's true and not true. It's true that on the level of the higher self or the soul, nothing happens in your life that is not a choice by the divine part of you, the higher self or the soul. However, that is not the same as ordering food off a restaurant, off a menu at a restaurant. So to say that someone gets cancer or COVID because they consciously chose it, that's ridiculous. Of course not. That's why I say it's true and not true. That nothing happens without the consent of the higher self or soul. But to say that you, with your conscious mind, chose to get sick and it's somehow your fault for choosing it, no, that's not true. That's victim shaming. That's ridiculous. There are people that eat right, that exercise, that think positively, that get cancer, that get COVID, that get in car accidents. Stuff happens in life, people, right? And we have to do the best we can on both the practical and esoteric levels to take care of ourselves and our families and make a difference in the world. So no, it's you know, I don't say that, oh, you got cancer because you chose it. Of course not. Very few people would choose that. You know, unless you're talking on the level of the higher self or the soul, but that's kind of trivially true. Because everything that happens in life is a choice by the divine. So, you know, good point, Jane. Okay, all right, it's good. Getting some good props in the chat room for people who've done the online experience. Yeah, I think you'll like it. It's you know, I try really hard to make it interesting. There is, I don't think there's any pre-recorded stuff we use. It's 100% live. I mean, I have slides I use, right? I'm obviously not typing in the slides into PowerPoint in real time, right? But there's no recordings. It's all 100% live. Okay, request for healing, request for healing. Okay, question, when I heal, do I see the synapses in the brain that are misfiring? No, I don't. I'm an auditory intuitive. So for me, the experience is more auditory. I hear things. Now, I will sometimes see things, but I'm much more in tune auditorially. What we'll talk about a lot during the training is how we witness healings. So that's a big chunk of it. How we witness healings when you're the practitioner or healer is really important. And it can be done visually or kinesthetically or with audio. And I'm going to show you, I will show you all 3 options during the training. So if you see synapses in the brain, it's likely you're very visual intuitively. And that's one of the ways you witness a healing. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not how it works for everybody. Okay, request for healing. Request for healing. Okay. Elizabeth asks, can I make up my own block to clear? Absolutely. I hope you do. Yeah. You know, I'm going to show you how to clear them. Go and clear them. Anything you find, go ahead and clear it. Okay. Tracy asked, if I request a transfer, what happens to the 90 days? You still get it. Again, it's up to you when you start it. You can start it tomorrow. You can start it next week, next month, right? Let's just say within a year, to be fair, right? So again, if you're registering, you can't make next weekend, just let us know. We'll give you a free transfer to the next live event. And if you register tonight, you will get your free private with me. And we'll give you, if you want it, all the recordings and the materials from next weekend, so you can start learning and practicing without needing to wait for the next live event. Or you can just wait for the next live event, up to you, right? Again, different kinds of learners. I'll work with you either way. Okay, how many levels are there? After this weekend, there's 2 more live weekends, as well as some recorded material you can go through. Is there a mastery or teacher training? Yes, there is. That comes at the end. Yep. When do you have to sign up by? To get the $497 price with the 100% refund, as well as all the bonuses in the pre-private, you need to register before the end of the webinar, which I'm guessing is about 30 minutes right now. So, 20, 30 minutes, depending on how many questions we have. Okay. Am I a spiritual man? I think so. I would consider myself, having dedicated my life to teaching spirituality and energy healing. I'd say so. Absolutely. Okay. Good question for Virginia. She says, we don't live forever, and illness prepares us for leaving. How do you know if a healing is appropriate? You will feel that intuitively when you work with someone. That it's a fact that sometimes death is the healing. That was the case for my father. My father died, he was only 66, but he was really sick the last 7 years. He had very little quality of life. And so it was a blessing when he passed that he didn't have to suffer anymore. And I have worked with people a few times that I knew were going to pass. It's been more often with animals, hasn't happened a lot with people. But when you have some experience with this, you'll kind of know intuitively, but you can still give people incredible benefit even if they're still going to die, because you can help them resolve their longstanding issues, their attachments. And life doesn't end with death, folks. You all know that, right? This is just one stage in the journey. The healing you give to someone shortly before they die can make an enormous difference for what comes next. So absolutely worth doing. One of the more advanced things, we don't cover it in the first weekend, but it's in the advanced training, is how to work with people that have already died. So you can do healing on your parents or grandparents or whoever, even if they've passed. It's a little trickier. That's why it's in the advanced training, but absolutely worth doing. Really powerful stuff. Okay, Carolyn asks, what is the charge after 90 days? $37 a month. For those that are registering now, you'll be able to have a legacy membership. So just $37 a month. That's it. And just so you know, when I was coming up through the ranks, I was paying about $250 a month just for practice groups. You're going to get it at literally 10 times cheaper than I did 20 years ago, because I work really hard to make this affordable for as many people as possible. There's also higher levels. There's also a $97 level, but those of you that are registering now will get it at the 37. Okay, Michael, absolutely. Says, I'd like to transfer, no problem. So for anyone that registers, you're going to get, here's what's going to happen when you register. You're going to check out, right, get to the thank you page. There'll be a link to download a PDF. It will also be emailed to you. And me and my assistant will also email it to you like 6 times over the next week, right? To make sure you get it. We'll just keep sending it to you until we know you got it. Just reply to any of those emails and say, hey guys, I can't make next weekend. We'll give you a free transfer. And if you want, we'll give you all the recordings and materials. Done. Okay, request for healing. Okay. Can type 1 diabetes be healed? I have not seen anyone make 100% recovery, but I have worked with type 1 diabetics who have been able to significantly lessen their need and frequency for insulin. That's been my experience, but I haven't worked with a lot of people, maybe a half dozen. So can you heal someone who isn't into this? No. I am going to show you how to do the alternative healing. That's one of the topics we're going to cover. We call it sending unconditional love. There's an alternative process you use for people that aren't into this or won't sit down with a healer or think it's bunk. So you're going to learn both. You're going to learn the formal healing with permission, as well as how to clear the subconscious, as well as how to send unconditional love. because that's really all you can do with people who aren't interested, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. It's unlikely that someone who has no interest, is not willing to do the work, is going to make a recovery from a disease like that. But I suppose it's possible. I haven't heard of that. Everyone I know that's made big progress with type 1 diabetes has been open to it and done the work. But it's worth sending some unconditional love, right? Once you learn how to do it, it don't cost you nothing. Give it a shot. Maybe we'll see a miracle. Okay. How often do I do them? Generally 4 times a year. So the next one is scheduled for May. So again, if you can't make this weekend, register now, lock in your free private, the low price, all the bonuses, the 90 days in the VIP club. We'll give you a free transfer to May, and you can join us then. And if you want it, we'll give you all the recordings and materials from this weekend if you want to review them ahead, so you don't have to wait 3 months to learn all this stuff. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Okay, I didn't realize the link for the refund and transfer policy goes to a dead page. Thank you. I'm going to make a note of that, and I will fix it. And just to be fair with everyone, I'm going to read you the refund and transfer policy right now. I got it here in my email. And I'm going to type it into the chat room too. So I'm going to type it into the chat room and read it for everybody. I wasn't aware that was broken. So here's the refund and transfer policy. If you can't attend the event and contact us at least 72 hours in advance, meaning by next Wednesday, you can get a free transfer. If you wait after that, there's a late transfer fee of $100. So just let us know. I will waive the fee if you have a genuine emergency, right? So if you have a genuine emergency, I will always waive that. I got your back. If you will be provided with all the materials and recordings at no extra charge. If you complete, and here's the requirement for a refund. It's the same thing you saw on the slides, but I'll say it again. If you come to the first day on Friday and you don't like it, drop out and email us, support@awakeningdynamics.com, and you'll get 100% of your money back. You can't continue with the course, but you can keep all the extra bonuses. So my 3-book series, the muscle testing video, the 35 meditations on awakening, the Awakening to Abundance series, all the bonuses are yours to keep, even if you ask for a refund. If you do not attend the first day, then there are no refunds. And the reason I do that is simple. I really want you to do this. I want you to experience it for yourself. If you try it and you don't like it, drop out and get a refund. Typically, when I do these, I'll have an average of 1 person ask for a refund. It's not a lot, but it happens. And if that's you, that's okay. I'm not for everybody. I'm kind of intense. It's going to be really fast paced. It will be, there's not a lot of fluff. It will be dense, powerful, life-changing content nonstop for 3 days. That's not what everyone is looking for. If you want me to just give you a big hug and tell you it's going to be okay and blow smoke up your butt, that's not me. That's a lot of healers. That's a lot of new age, but it's not me, right? So just in case, again, if you try it and you really don't like it, drop out. Come Friday, try for 4 hours. If it's not your thing, you can bail out and get all your money back. No problem. I'll be disappointed, but again, I know this isn't for everyone. And I know for some people, the $400 some is not a big deal. For others, it is. So that's why I include that. If you're willing to give it a shot and don't like it, no worries. No hard feelings. Okay, I'll post all the links in a second here. Can Alzheimer's be healed? Yes, but I haven't seen a lot of people with really severe Alzheimer's. I've never seen anyone just like jump out of their chair and start dancing, right? Now, I have seen success with people that have more milder forms. That's a lot more likely to see big result. So if you have a parent or grandparent who hasn't spoken in 10 years and is totally non-functional, honestly, I wouldn't spend a lot of money on this unless you have it to burn. I would focus more on you and your life because that's a tough one. Not going to say it's impossible, right? It's a tough one. And yes, we can absolutely do healing on animals. That will be something you're going to learn in this first weekend. We're going to have a whole section either late Saturday or early Sunday on how to do healings on children and animals and others that can't necessarily talk to you or do muscle testing. So that's one of the topics you'll get in this weekend. Okay. All right. So I will post the link for the 30 Days book again for everybody. Not the 30 days, the 5 ways to a theta brainwave. And again, if anybody has any kind of customer service issue, just email support@awakeningdynamics.com and we'll take care of you. So if you bought something that you haven't received, let us know. We'll get it to you. My assistant is really good about that. Almost always what happens is we got back to you, but it got caught in your spam filter. So either whitelist our emails or check your spam folder, because we're really good about getting back to people on anything. Okay, Gene, I'm going to answer you privately. So, privately. Okay. And just so everyone knows, some of your questions I'm answering privately, others I'm answering on the broadcast. So check the chat room. It is especially if it's something a little sensitive or personal, I'm typing the responses. Okay. All right. So yeah, we have a comment. Someone had paid an extra $100 for the 5 ways to waking theta brain state. If you did, email me. I'll refund that for you. No problem. Because I think you'll find the bonuses are really valuable. I mean, trust me, I know I've done a lot of online offers, webinars, telesummits, right? Both as a customer and as a host, right? I've been doing this stuff for a long time. Most of the bonuses you get are garbage on this stuff. They are. They're just fluff and filler to drive up the value. I think you'll find the bonuses I give you are really good stuff. Well worth the money in their own right, right? That's just my opinion. So I just encourage you, don't ignore the bonuses just because most bonuses are crap. My bonuses are not crap. This is really good stuff that people pay for. Okay, request for healing. Okay. Okay, I got a couple people ask about KPFK. Just so everyone knows, that's a radio stations or WBAI. I do not get the money. I do not get the order. They are supposed to handle all that, right? And so if you're having trouble, though, if you can send me at support@awakeningdynamics.com a receipt or some proof of purchase, I will get it to you. I'm not supposed to have to do that, right? The radio station gets your money. They're supposed to take care of it. But I will do that for you for free if you're having trouble with them. I'm also asked, is there overlap with those packages? Tiny, tiny bit, like 1%-ish, 2%. It's not the same thing. No. So just know it's not the same thing. There's a tiny bit of overlap only because there's certain things that I have to teach you no matter what, right? So there's a tiny bit of overlap on muscle testing and a little bit of that, but minuscule. Okay, it's like saying, is there overlap between, a Dodger game and a Laker game? Sort of, right? They use the same vendors for the beer and the hot dogs, but other than that, they're very different experiences. Okay. I'm just going through a lot of healing requests. Okay, question from Tracy. How close is this to Vianna Stibel's theta healing? I was, and she mentions Trisha Howell. I was Vianna's first certified master, and Trisha was one of my students. So I was at the top of that world. I don't want to get into any of the gossip. I left that world a long time ago. I don't want to say anything bad about them, so let me just say I wanted to teach and practice the things I learned from my mentor, Carl, and I couldn't do that in someone else's system. I also couldn't advance their technology beyond how it was taught. But I was at the top of that world, and Trisha was one of my students. So most of the practitioners of that modality around Los Angeles, either I was their teacher, or my teacher, Terry, was their teacher, or one of my students was their teacher. Because me and Terry were in the first group of certified masters. But I left that world a long time ago for reasons we don't need to get into tonight. So you will learn everything you learned there, plus a lot more. Well, I'll just keep it simple. You'll learn everything you would learn there, plus a whole lot of other stuff you won't. Okay, Patricia asked, what time will we start on Friday? 5 o'clock Pacific. And I just want to throw out there, if anybody's in Europe, the 5 o'clock Pacific is kind of a brutal start time if you're in Europe. That's like midnight in Europe. So what you'll find is on the page, I give you the recording of the Friday broadcast from a previous class, just in case anybody's like in Europe or Africa or a time zone where that makes it really difficult. That way you can just watch that recording and join us Saturday when it's a more reasonable time. Because 9 a.m. Pacific is what, like 4 or 5 in the afternoon for Europe. So it's kind of a late night, but it's doable. So we got you covered. And again, you get a full recording, so if there's anything you miss, you can catch up there. Okay, request for healing. Okay. Okay. Request for healing. Yes, you can clear 1,000 people in seconds. Okay, it might take you 10, 30 seconds at first. I can clear 1,000 people in 10 milliseconds. You will be able to do it in under a minute after the first training. Probably 30 seconds, maybe 10, depending on your skill level, but less than a minute. Yes. Okay. When I'm talking about the quantum field, we're talking about unity consciousness. Yes. Yes. Short answer is yes. All right. Awesome to Caroline. Thank you, Josanne, for posting the times. Much appreciated. I'll talk more about my mentor, Carl, at the weekend. I just, if I say his name now, you're all going to go off and Google him and disconnect, and I don't want you to miss the end with the healings, right? So I'm happy to answer questions. You know, I'll talk all about him at the weekend if you guys want to learn more about him. There's just some things you need to know before you go Google him. That's all. Okay. So yeah, anybody that can't attend live next weekend, don't worry about it. Register. We'll give you all the materials and recordings and a free transfer. You get all the bonuses, you know, and you can come in May when it fits your schedule. Okay. All right. Request for healing. Request for healing. Okay. I'm not sure if it's Jean or Jeannie. You can email anyone that wants more detail than I can get into tonight. Just email support@awakeningdynamics.com and we'll get back to you. No, I'm a little jammed up for the next couple of days, but we always get back to you. And I'm happy to give you more information about the advanced trainings or whatever you need. Just don't want to get too off track tonight because I want to get to everyone's healings. Okay. All right, question. I'm about to pay for this, and some reason I start to tear up and cry. I'd say that's a great thing. That's one of your divine signals. You're on the right track. That's genuine feeling coming up. Because here's the thing: your subconscious knows how powerful this is, and a lot of those blocks and traumas know they're going to have to move out if you do this. So I'd say that's a wonderful sign. You're on the right track. Okay. All right. The 497 gives you this whole 3-day weekend and the recordings and all the materials and all the bonuses and professional certification and 90 days in my VIP club, the entire library of all my master classes, which is like 44, I think, over 700 articles and videos, all included, plus a free retake in the live room when I have it. So I hope that helps. My thoughts on the tarot. Powerful stuff, just be careful. Ouija boards, tarot cards, don't screw around with them. They're not toys, seriously. If you don't know what you're doing, most likely nothing will happen, but there is potential for harm. So make sure you know what you're doing. Is the transfer policy even for Zoom? Yes, absolutely. Not sure why it wouldn't be. Is OCD unremitting depression? Is it treatable? Yeah, absolutely. I'll just say quickly, anything can be healed. Some things heal easily, some things take a lot more work, right? My frozen elbow healed in 1 hour, and went pop and was no problem. All the chronic pain that left me on disability took me a couple years to work through. And I needed a lot of healings, a lot of subconscious clearing, plus some cleanses and physical therapy and exercises and diet changes and positive thinking. I needed a lot of stuff. I was a train wreck. Next weekend is in May. I think it's the second weekend in May. But again, we'll give you all the recordings and materials so you don't have to wait to start learning. Okay. Okay. Question about liver transplant. Again, anything can be healed. No honest person can promise a result. So if you ask, hey, Brent, can you guarantee me that after 1 or 2 or 3 sessions that this problem will be gone? I can't. Nobody can. Don't trust anyone who says that. They're lying to you, just trying to take your money. What I can offer you 100% is the world-beating technology, the best processes, the best explanations, the best support, the best chance you can get, right? You can go find the best heart surgeon in the world. There's no guarantee that the surgery will be perfect. There's always risk. There's always people that don't respond. But by getting the best heart surgeon in the world, you maximize your chances of a good result rather than, say going to someone in an alley with a knife and a bottle of ether, right? So, this I really believe is the best option. Jeannie, yes. Yeah, we can have, I'm happy to work with you, give more information. I just don't want to get off topic tonight, but yes. Carl is my mentor. He is a known person. One of the reasons I don't want to give out his name right now is he's well known for reasons other than his healing. And if you go Google him, you won't get much on his healing work, which was very below the radar. So, but during the weekend, I'm happy to talk all about him. I'll give you his name, and those that go on in my advanced work, you're going to get a lot of his material that he never released to the public. That I'm very proud to be the only person he ever gave his official permission to pass on his work. So I have a lot of his materials, his writings, his processes that are integrated into my trainings. And he used to co-teach my advanced classes with me. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. He had a long, full life. He was almost 80 years old. And he was on a 30-mile bike ride the day he died. So amazing, amazing man, most talented person I've ever known or worked with. But he was human. He had his issues. So yeah, we'll talk more about him during the weekend. Okay, cool. I'm really glad some of you found me through Facebook. I spent a lot of money on my funnel and Facebook ads and my ad manager and all that. So I'm glad someone. I generally, when we have the live rooms, the question about hard copies, when we have the live rooms, I bring stacks of printed manuals. I don't for the online because it's just so difficult and there's so many mailing delays that even if I sent them tomorrow, half of you wouldn't get it. What I do include is the PDF as well as a permission form. If you want to print it out or take it to your local print shop, it'll cost you about $10, $15, $20 to print it out. So if you want to print it out, more power to you, no problem. Healing on cats, absolutely. Okay. Celia is having trouble. Celia, what you can do is, Celia and anyone else that's trying to register but having a problem, send me your email address in a private message, and either me or my assistant will follow up and take care of you. So again, if you're having a technical problem like your browser froze or whatever, let me know, and we'll extend the timeline on the offer to take care of you. But we need to hear from you. Okay, so I'm going to type in the URL for the book one more time. So anyone that wants the 5 Ways to a Theta Brainwave book, I just put the link in the chat room. And all right, I think we got all your questions answered. So I think I've answered all your questions. We're going to do our healings in just another minute or two. I just want to shout out, if I missed your question, please repost it right now, and I'm happy to answer them. So if I missed your question, go ahead and ask. I'm seeing healing requests come in. I just don't want to mention them because, one, I want to protect your privacy, and two, there's a lot of healing requests that come in. There's probably at least 100, so it would take us probably another 45 minutes just for me to read them off. But don't worry, if you put it into the chat room, that's all we need. So if anybody has any questions, this will be your last chance. We'll be doing our healings in maybe about 2, 3, 4 minutes. And if you haven't registered yet, now's your chance. Please go. You can either click on the button that says Yes, Transform My Life. You can type in awakeningdynamics.com/special on your browser, and that'll work. It all takes you to the same place. And I'll also post the link in the chat room if you're looking to register. I want you to try now if you're interested. And if you have a technical problem like your browser freezes or your card gets declined, let me know, and I'll work with you. And I'll extend the deadline if you try and have a problem. The live weekend is next weekend. So it's February 12th, 13th, 14th. All right, Celia, I got you covered. So I will extend the deadline for you, and you'll probably hear from me or my assistant tomorrow. Okay. All right. Ask a miracle process. Oh yeah, let me play another movement video for you guys. All right. So this is we'll play this one here. It's a short one.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Yeah.
The first thing I saw when he stood up was a mugshot.
Yeah, and you're brushing it off.
Very rigid. Be tighter from your butt to your neck. Just get tight, like that. Be tighter. Stay there. Stay in that. Stay there.
I'm going to pause it here to say what I'm showing you is a before and after process. This is Edward at the beginning of his movement session, and then we're going to skip to the end, which is like 13 minutes later, and you'll see a profound change.
Don't let you off the hook. Stay there. Tight.
So here's Edward 14 minutes later.
Say it like you mean it.
Yes.
There we go. There we go. That was a nice laugh, wasn't it?
Yeah. From the heart.
That was heart. Beautiful. Let's give him a round of applause.
So what you just saw there was just a little bit of the movement process that we do. I got some more here for you. I'll play one more here. And these are all done online.
I'm getting frantic.
Yeah, tentative, worried.
Fluttering.
It's like a puppy dog worried about getting hit.
Or smacked.
Yeah, or smashed.
Oh. Yeah.
There's like a fear of violence, a fear of punishment, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of screaming out to us, please don't hurt me. Pretty neat.
Yeah.
exactly. It's just like, wow.
Wow, look at the
Free.
hands.
Yeah, your hands are different. Your voice is much clearer.
Yeah. And the paint's gone out of my wrist. Doesn't hurt.
That's pretty amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. All the pain we have is just a story stuck in our body. It's really that simple. You open it up. You know, it's like a kink in the
Right.
So there was just a couple examples of some movement sessions. Those are from one of the live weekends. And I know I understand that you don't really understand what you're seeing right now, but you should be able to see the huge difference in the energy between the start and the stop, between the beginning and the end. And it's usually a 3 to 15-minute process per person to make a huge, you'll see a giant change in the energy. All right, so we're about to do our healing. So those of you that have stuck with us, awesome, good for you. This is your, okay, question from Jaden Russo. Does it show a physical representation of the trauma the soul and body have endured? Yes, that's a great way to put it. Yes. What we're doing is we're reading the code. We're literally reading the energy coming off of people that tells us the stories and myths that are running their life. And through this process of the quantum field entrainment and the feedback, we collapse those myths and you'll see a different energy come off of them. And this is the highest level work. This is the most powerful thing I've ever seen. And that's what I learned from my mentor, Carl, and that's the advanced side of this. And so the advanced work, there's no muscle testing, there's no specific things we're clearing, it's all done intuitively. All right, so let's do our healings. So again, you got about 3 minutes to register if you're interested, but we're going to do our healings right now. So here we go. All right, all set. So we're going to wrap up here in the next minute or two. So if you don't get a great result from what we just did, don't panic. Some people see miracles happen from the heal-a-thon. If you don't panic. For one, we didn't do any subconscious clearing. The big stuff usually needs subconscious clearing, not always, but usually. So it doesn't mean you can't heal. It just means there's more work to do. Also know that the more exchange you provide, the bigger the result. That's a downside of doing free events like this. And so, we're going to do radiation healing too. All right. So in the class, I'm going to show you how to do the radiation clearing. For right now, I'm just going to go ahead and clear all your phones and your bodies. So thank you for the reminder, Tracy. In the class, I'm going to show you how to use the muscle testing to see if the radiation isn't affecting you, and then you can see after. Don't want to spend time on that. I'm just going to do the healing. Those of you that want to learn all the details, come to the training. So here we go, radiation clearing. Thank you, Tracy. Almost forgot. All right, all set. So I didn't even mention that before, but there's like 27 different things you're going to do over the weekend. Learning how to clear radiation from your body and your phone is just one of them. So That's just one of the many things you're going to learn, and we'll talk about all the details during the weekend. So we do need to wrap up. We're almost at 3 hours, but I want to say thank you to everyone for coming out and joining us for the Healathon. We will be doing an encore replay on Saturday. So if you have anyone that is interested or you want to go through this again, just check your email. We will be doing the encore replay on Saturday. And everyone that registered tonight, you should hear from me and my assistant probably by tomorrow. We'll confirm your registration. We'll send you all the